in a matinee special with your Chicago Cubs. Today at 1 East 10 West on WGN America.
There's a great shot of PNC Park, the North Shore here in Pittsburgh from the Allegheny River. It is Memorial Day 2010, and it's a holiday edition of the Hyundai Leadoff Man on WGN Sports. Today, the Cubs open up a 3-game series and a 9-game NL Central trip. Hi again, everyone. We hope your holiday's going well. Bob Brenly and Len Casper will have the first pitch in about 35 minutes. This is a very important road trip. The Cubs, Bob, are playing all 3 teams that are below them in the NL Central standings.
Yeah, you break this season down into segments. They had the one segment where they played all the teams that were sub 500 last year. We thought that would be a chance to get fat. It didn't happen. They just came off a series where they faced some of the better teams in the National League. And I still don't know if we have a real good read on this Cubs team. They went 3-3 against the Dodgers and the Cardinals, 2 very good ball clubs. The offense once again has been a huge issue.
And a little hit or miss on the homestand. The Cubs gave up 24 runs in 3 games. The other 3 games, which were wins, were all shutouts.
Well, consistency. We talk about consistency in the offense, getting those big timely base hits, getting more runners on base, and the same thing goes for pitching. You have to have those consistent efforts on a daily basis.
News today is the Cubs have made a move in their bullpen, which was expected. Right-hander Andrew Kashner, the Cubs' #1 pick a couple of years ago, is now in the bullpen. And left-hander John Grabo has gone to the DL with a knee injury. Let's hear from the manager, Lou Piniella.
Another exciting young kid coming.
Yeah, we got Kashner coming. He lands about 11, so he'll be here by game time. Yeah, good young arm. We had him in spring training and went down to AA and started AAA and pitched well at both classifications. So he's here, and we're going to use him in the middle just to get him started, get his feet wet. And hopefully he'll develop into a nice later inning pitcher for us in the bullpen.
A lot of time games dictate how you use people, right? I mean, once he gets his feet wet, you wouldn't hesitate, would you, to move him up after?
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. In fact, basically, we're hoping that he just can just take Zambrano's spot the way we were using Zambrano.
Terrio just getting a rest, or is
Terrio, Fontenot's had a good month. He's swinging the bat well. So we'll see how Fontenot does, but I'm not going to say one way or another.
So this could be more than a one-day.
This could be more than a one-day thing, yeah.
And as we go to break, let's check out today's Hyundai dealer of the game, Lauren Hyundai in Glenview, Illinois. See the cars the experts are raving about at myhyundaichicago.com.
Hey, you at the computer. Want to see more Winslow? Nighty Watchman? Or WWE Divas? You ain't going to find them there. Psst, over here. It's the new WGNAmerica.com. Trivia? Bing! Hot photos? Bang! Viral videos? Boom! Shakalaka! Give your mouse a workout and get clicking at WGNAmerica.com.
A hand tool so advanced, it eliminates I can't from your vocabulary. The Craftsman Pivoting Elbow Wrench, going where traditional wrenches never could. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
We're in the mood for baby back ribs for dinner tonight. Who's got them? And it has to be all you can eat.
Thanks for dropping by.
Golden Corral is the first ever to offer all the fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs you want, all on our endless dinner buffet for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
So word's getting out that Geico can help people save in even more ways. On motorcycle insurance, RV, camper, boat insurance. Nice work, everyone.
Well, it's easy for him. He's a cute little lizard. Gecko, actually. With all due respect, if I was tiny and green and had a British accent, I'd have more folks paying attention to me, too. I mean, save money. Pip-pip cheerio.
British? I thought you were Australian.
Well, it's funny you should ask, because actually, I'm from...
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Where do denture wearers get the confidence to be their effervescent selves? From Efferdent. Efferdent's powerful effervescence cleans dentures even in hard-to-reach places and kills odor-causing bacteria. Be your effervescent self with Efferdent.
Coppertone Sport outshines. It protects you from the most damaging rays across 100% of the UVA-UVB spectrum, and the protection stays on better because it's ultra sweat-proof. Coppertone Sport outshines so you can enjoy the sun.
Pizza holdout Charlie Thomas still hasn't tried Domino's new pizza. That ends today. Domino's Pizza.
Now get 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for just $5.99 each. Know a holdout? Tell us at pizzaholdouts.com and you could win free pizza for a year.
I love it.
A hand tool so advanced, it eliminates I can't from your vocabulary. The Craftsman Pivoting Elbow Wrench, going where traditional wrenches never could. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
The Hyundai Leadoff Man, brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by your Chicago Hyundai dealers. See the cars the experts are raving about at myhyundaichicago.com. Time now for Bob's AutoZone tip of the day. Today it's all about remembering our heroes as we honor those who have given their life in serving in our country's military. The tip of the day brought to you by AutoZone. For the auto parts, accessories, and advice you need, get in the zone. AutoZone. Well, the #1 goal for the Chicago Cubs as a baseball team is to win the World Series, but they're also a very important part of the community, not only in Lakeview, but throughout the entire city of Chicago. Let's find out more about Cubs Care and all the great things it does. The Chicago Cubs pitching in, fielding dreams.
They've been a great supporter of our organization, and their funding is critical to an organization like ours.
This is really so important to us to be able to further our mission and to be able to help people right here in this neighborhood.
We do it at Wrigley Field and for the team isn't possible without our community. Today we give a little bit back.
The Cubs community activities reflect an ongoing partnership between the Cubs and the people of Chicago. Each year we reach thousands who share our great city and our passion for baseball.
How is everybody? When I started reading a lot, those big long words, I started to understand them.
As owners, we aim to continue the charitable efforts which have supported more than $15 million in donations since 1991 and more than $1 million a year in each of the last 5 years.
The Chicago Cubs have been a unique part of the fabric of Chicago since 1876. Our unique relationship with the city of Chicago is something we never take for granted. We want to make sure that the impact we have is something that can continue for generations to come.
What the Cubs have done for our organization is actually contribute to the great movement for persons with disabilities. And it's just going to keep growing.
Right now, the whole inner city Little League looks up to me. You know, they say, you gotta make it.
It's just a fantastic story that will continue to live forever and ever for generations to come.
By contributing to parks, schools, and community needs, we will continue our efforts to make Chicago a thriving city and a great home. We know Wrigley Field is in the best neighborhood in baseball, and we're excited about the opportunities ahead.
The bottom line is groups that help the community, the Cubs want to be a part of, and they do that in an extremely strong and positive way.
They have a vision that they see beyond just the game, and they use what they have, their resources, to help other people have a fuller life.
The versatility of multiple wrenches, all in one tool. Introducing the Craftsman Universal Ratcheting Wrench. One tool, tackling many bolts, faster. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
With
what you did at this morning's meeting, that was pure poetry.
Stop it.
Hello, you spotted $1 million accounting error that no one else noticed.
That was pretty sweet.
But you did have 8 layers of sweet, crunchy backup.
What can I say? You're the man. Or the little dude.
That's me.
Stay on your game by stopping mid-morning hunger with Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheat Cereal. An excellent source of fiber from 100% whole grain that helps you stay full so you can stay focused.
He's a little focused right now. Can I take a message?
So rich.
Hola, amigo. It's me, your TV. Just pulled the plug on your cable to show you something sweet. With DirecTV, get a DVR that stores twice as many shows as cable. So load it up. Sports, soaps, absolutely. Reality show marathon, not my thing, but cool. Lots of movies, why not? You got the room. Stop limiting yourself. Give them a call and check out that deal. DirecTV, it'll change your life.
There's something you should know about frequent heartburn. Let me show you. There's a new 24-hour frequent heartburn product called Zagrad OTC. It's been proven in a clinical study to provide acid control that's greater and faster than Prevacid. New Zagrad OTC has a powerful dual-ingredient formula that gives you relief all day and all night. There's a brilliant new idea in heartburn relief. It's called Zagrad OTC. Discover the difference.
Every party needs a clown, right?
I didn't have a clown at my birthday. Me neither.
Sorry, turning 9 does not compare with being the world's greatest treat for 25 years, okay?
Clowns are earned, kids.
We are.
Celebrate the Blizzard's 25th with the Strawberry Golden Oreo Blizzard with Golden Oreo cookies and strawberries. Then follow the party tour at DQ.com.
The Craftsman Cordless Multi-Tool. The power and versatility of 6 tools packed into one. More innovation, more great values. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Fans filing into PNC Park. Great statue of the late Roberto Clemente, one of the all-time greats here in Pittsburgh. And great to have with us Cubs Vice President and General Manager Jim Hendry. Memorial Day, Labor Day are 2 benchmarks in any season. Jim, let's talk about the first 2 months, the things you've liked and the things you'd like to see improve.
Well, I think we're all a little disappointed, Len, that we haven't won more ball games. I mean, we've seen some spurts of playing real well, played real well against some of the better clubs, and we've had really some good enough starting pitching for the most part to be, well over 500 club. Early on, the bullpen didn't pitch great, in the 7th or 8th when we, in some close games, or couldn't maintain a shorter deficit. But we've had a good month in the pen, and it really comes down to we just haven't won more games for the most part because we haven't hit in the clutch as much as we'd like to, or in some cases with some guys that always have in their career. But there's been a lot of good things. I think we really need a good trip. This is kind of the beginning of a run. I think the next 2 or 3 weeks it'll really let us know where we're at, and we hope to come home next week at least 500.
I don't know who came up with the adage, but I like it. It's not who you play, it's how you play. And if you look at the first 2 months, as you said, with the schedule, this team has beaten a lot of good clubs, has struggled against some others, but if this team plays as well as it's capable of, should be okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that our position players are good enough to win with, and we've got more depth than we've had in years. And, we just need our big guys to do well. And even the other people that are playing well, we got to do a better job of knocking in runs later in the ball game when the game's on the line, or in situations maybe in the middle of the game that one more big hit would break the game open and give us a 3 or 4 run lead. And no pitching staff can maintain a consistent lack of hitting in the clutch in the middle late in the ball game. So we need our boys to get going and play like we can, but we're optimistic, and I think that trip right now, the next 9 or 10 games will be a big thing for us.
All right, Kashner is here. Andrew was drafted in the first round 2 years ago. He's been on the fast track. Very impressive in spring training. Tell us about him.
Well, he's a great young man. He's got great stuff. He's a big kid, big, strong kid. He's going to show you 94 to 97 every night. He's touched 98 a few times in the minor leagues. He was a closer when he was younger in college, and our minor league people under O'Neary Fleeta's guidance, Mark Riggins and his pitching coaches the last couple years, Dennis Llewellyn and Mike Mason, have really brought him along well. This is a kid that hasn't been rushed. He's right on schedule. He could be a high-end starter down the road, or he could pitch in the back end of the game with Marmol down the road. Very impressive young man, and his command has gotten much better in the last 3 or 4 months. So we're expecting big things out of him. Might give our pitching staff a jolt that it needs.
Lou makes out the lineup card every day, but as you've talked about this year, and Lou has as well, once you start the season, the salaries and who's the veteran, that doesn't really matter, right? You go with who's most productive. Mike Fontenot's going to play for Terrio today. Zambrano was moved to the bullpen. He's back in the starting rotation, and it's really the team concept, isn't it? Everybody buying in that, look, I need to do whatever it takes to help this team.
Absolutely. You've only got 13 position players, so it's not like you have a log jam that you can't handle. Guys that are playing well and need to play. Lou knows that. And that being said, if we got away from that and just had enough to cover everyday guys, no problems, nobody upset when they don't play, then we go back to the old adage of we don't have enough depth. So we've got enough depth. We've got some good mix and match combinations in the infield and outfield, left and right. And right now, if Lou needs to play Fontenot certain days instead of Terrio, that means that Fontenot's swinging the bat better and he's swinging from the left side.
What's going on with Aramis, Jim? I think everybody's asking that question, and we've just never seen him go through anything like this.
It's been unbelievable. I mean, here's a guy that's been a high-level quality hitter all his life. He's never gone through a long-term slump before, and he and Derek, of course, got off to terrible starts. Now, Derek, we've seen that before out of Derek, and then all of a sudden, mid to late May, 1st of June, he can get real hot and carry it like he did last year. I mean, he was off to just as bad or worse start last year, and he had a terrific year. We need Aramis to swing the bat. We need Aramis to play better all around, and I did talk to him yesterday. He did feel like his thumb was getting better. He's had some nagging injuries, but that being said, he wasn't hurt earlier in the year. He just wasn't swinging the bat well, and I think it caught all of us, including himself, by surprise.
All right, we have just a few seconds left before we throw it down to the field for the Memorial Day activities. Got to give a quick plug to O'Neary Fleeta and Tim Wilkin and your entire staff. We've seen a lot of the young guys through the system, developed by O'Neary and company, and Tim Wilkin with the draft.
Well, that's going to continue, too, Len. Tim Wilkin came here 4 years ago. Everyone in the game knew we had one of the marquee guys in the industry. He ran a lot of drafts for Pat Gillick in their heyday in Toronto. Tyler Colvin was his first pick, which was terribly maligned, so to speak, and exactly what Tyler has become. Tim said that on draft day. Castor's a good pick. Vitter was a great pick. But we also have a slew of people coming. So for Cub fans, once and for all, you have a scouting director and a scouting department that is going to continue to have the Castros and the Kastners and the Colvins continue to come through the system. We've got a good wave of pitching coming the next 2 or 3 years and a handful of good position players, too.
All right, thanks for the time as always, Jim. Let's send it down to the field.
Could not defend themselves. Standing in honor of those men and women are a group of United States Army veterans. They are Sergeant Corey Bigelow, Sergeant Link Spencer, Staff Sergeant Joseph Kristolowski, First Sergeant Aaron Friday, Sergeant First Class Justin Kelly, and Sergeant Thaddeus Lamb. Ladies and gentlemen, in tribute to those who cannot be with us today, we ask you now to join us for a moment of silence. Thank you. And now we ask you to please remain standing. Here to perform God Bless America and our national anthem are Jennifer Lear, Jamie Leidick, and Julie Dapra. They are joined at home plate by Lieutenant Colonel Mark Roberts. Colonel Roberts has been a member of the United States Air Force for over 23 years and a member of the 911th Airlift Wing for the past 11 years.
Hey, baseball fan, need a fix? Get the Cubs and Sox download.
There's a swing and a drive, deep right center. Yeah!
At WGNAmerica.com for the full lineup of scores, stats, trivia, and more.
The Craftsman Cordless Multi-Tool. The power and versatility of 6 tools packed into one. More innovation, more great values. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
It basically took me the whole summer. And I don't know how many times I needed to go to AutoZone, but at least now when I go, it's not on my bike.
No matter what life throws at you, you can take the heat till it turns into heartburn. You've got what it takes. Zantac. It's strong, fast, lasting relief. So let them turn up the heat. You can stop that heartburn cold. Zantac.
Coppertone Sport outshines. It protects you from the most damaging rays across 100% of the UVA-UVB spectrum, and the protection stays on better because it's ultra sweat-proof. Coppertone Sport outshines, so you can enjoy the sun.
There comes a time when you know you've got to make a change.
This is the new Domino's Pizza. We improved everything. Sauce, cheese, crust, you name it. The deal is 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for $5.99 each. If you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. All of it. Not half of it. All of it.
We send them off each day. Our future leaders, explorers, great thinkers. They're the future of America. So let's bring them up right and give them our cheese. American cheese, Kraft singles. Put it in their lunchboxes. Heck, put it right in their mouths. It's made with milk, never oil like some other slices. A country is only as good as its cheese. Good thing ours doesn't have a bunch of holes in it. Kraft singles, the American cheese.
The Craftsman Hammerhead, the only auto hammer worthy of the Craftsman name. Engineered to drive home nails with the touch of a button. More innovation, more great values. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Hey, you at the computer. Want to see more Winslow? Nighty Watchman? Or WWE Divas? You ain't going to find them there. Psst, over here. It's the new WGNAmerica.com. Trivia? Bing! Hot photos? Bang! Viral videos? Boom! Shakalaka! Give your mouse a workout and get clicking at WGNAmerica.com.
The Hyundai Leadoff Man, brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by your Chicago Hyundai dealers. See the cars the experts are raving about at myhyundaichicago.com. Welcome back to Pittsburgh. It's a hot one today as the Cubs and the Pirates will kick off a 3-game series. We're going to talk some pitching now. And for Randy Wells, interesting, he started on Friday, so he's pitching on 2 days of rest, although he threw just 16 pitches in that game, and his last time here didn't go well either.
That didn't go well at all. He got off to a real bad start. He walked the first 2 hitters on 8 pitches, just really had trouble finding the strike zone, and when he finally did find the zone, the Pirates really punished him. Very uncharacteristic outing for Randy Wells, as his last time out against the Cardinals at Wrigley.
And he seemed to be very motivated after that last start. He comes in at 3-3. Ross Ohlendorf at 0-3, but still kind of getting it going. He has not yet hit the 100 pitch mark. The Pirates have been shut out in each of his last 2 starts. In fact, the Pirates are 29th in the majors, so second to last in runs and in ERA. Yet they're 5-1 against the Cubs.
Well, they have the ability to quick strike. The first inning of the ball game has been their best inning throughout the year. They've scored 36 first inning runs, 10 more than any other inning in the game. So if you can hold them down in the first inning, you got a chance to keep them down.
Interesting lineup change today. Mike Fontenot is playing second base for Ryan Theriot, and he's batting 5th. And if he hits today, he may be in there again tomorrow.
Well, I think Lou's a little frustrated with Ryan Theriot's lack of on-base percentage. We talked about the walks. He only drew 1 walk in the month of May. He wants to see somebody that gets on base a little more often, and in sporadic playing time, Mike Fontenot has given giving the club a little boost of energy, some extra base hits, some excitement on the bases. So Mike Fontenot's going to get an opportunity to play.
We'll see Carlos Zambrano on Wednesday night. So Tom Gorzolani's in the bullpen, and we talked with Jim Hendry about Andrew Kashner. So again, the bullpen going through a little bit of a transformation.
A little bit. Tom Gorzolani goes down there. He's not what you would call a power pitcher, but Andrew Kashner is. We saw him down in Mesa in spring training. He had a little bit of trouble with command issues. He walked a lot of guys, but as Jim said, he's gotten much better as the season progressed.
And as we always say, get the ball to Carlos Marmol in the 9th inning with the lead. He's just been tremendous.
Oh, he's been fantastic. You have to be tempted to bring him into the 8th inning, which Lou has done a few times with a couple of outs in the 8th inning, but looking for somebody to fill that 8th inning role and get the ball to Marmol.
All right, so the Cubs come in at 24-27. Boy, if you could go 6-3 on this road trip, you'd head home right at the 500 mark. The Cubs have not yet been over 500. We'll have Cubs baseball from Pittsburgh coming up.
A hand tool so advanced, it eliminates I can't from your vocabulary. The Craftsman Pivoting Elbow Wrench, going where traditional wrenches never could. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
It's not always easy living with COPD, but I try not to let it hold me back. Whether I'm at the batting cages, down by the lake, or fishing at the shore, I'm breathing better with Spiriva.
Spiriva is the only once-daily inhaled maintenance treatment for both forms of COPD, which includes chronic bronchitis and emphysema.
I take it every day. It keeps my airways open to help me breathe better all day long. And it's not a steroid.
Spiriva does not replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms. Stop taking Spiriva and call your doctor right away if your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, have vision changes or eye pain, or have problems passing urine. Tell your doctor if you have glaucoma, problems passing urine, or an enlarged prostate, as these may worsen with Spiriva. Also discuss the medicines you take, even eye drops. Side effects include dry mouth, constipation, and trouble passing urine.
My doctor said I could be doing more to breathe better, and now I am.
Ask your doctor about lifestyle changes and once daily Spiriva.
We have a pretty big family.
Yeah.
All boys.
I call them our starting 5.
Yeah. So when we go out, like the other night, we have to make sure they get enough to eat.
Pass these down to your brothers and make sure they get some, okay?
Olive Garden introduces our new crust bellies. Handcrafted Italian crepes, oven-baked and stuffed with 5 cheeses, then topped with herb-marinated chicken in a garlic cream sauce, or with grilled Italian sausage in our tomato Alfredo, starting at just $10.95 with unlimited salad and breadsticks.
Olive Garden's one of the few places we can take our family where everyone's happy.
Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
Coppertone Sport outshines. It protects you from the most damaging rays across 100% of the UVA-UVB spectrum, and the protection stays on better because it's ultra sweat-proof. Coppertone Sport outshines, so you can enjoy the sun.
We watch baseball.
We watch baseball.
We watch baseball.
We watch baseball on America's WGN.
The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
Baseball fans here in Pittsburgh normally head across the Roberto Clemente Bridge from downtown Pittsburgh and into beautiful PNC Park. We're set for Memorial Day Cubs action here on WGN Sports, the Cubs and the Pirates, as we welcome viewers from around the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. The Cubs probably thinking about revenge. They have gone just 1-5 against a Pirates team that has struggled against pretty much everybody else.
Well, and if they're going to beat the Pirates, they need to control Andrew McCutchen. The guy at the top of the batting order, for me, has game-changing speed. He gets on base a lot. He has done a lot of damage against the Cubs this year, leading to their 5 victories against the hometown Cubs.
Yeah, Cubs scoring under 3 runs a game against the Pirates this year. McCutchen is in the leadoff leadoff spot. We saw him in the 3-hole, and Garrett Jones 10 for 22 against the Cubs this season. Also former Cub Ronnie Cedeno is pretty hot. He's 9 for his last 20. I think Randy Wells has a little revenge on his mind too.
I don't think there's any question about it. We know what a competitor Randy Wells is, and I believe, quite honestly, he was embarrassed by his last outing when he was unable to record an out. Gave up 5 runs and faced only 6 batters, but the good news is he threw only 16 pitches, so hopefully he'll be fresh and ready to go today.
Right-hander Ross Ohlendorf missed a month with some back issues after his first start. You see what he did against the Cubs, left with the lead, got a no decision in that game at Wrigley Field. So we're set for Memorial Day action from Pittsburgh. The Cubs and the Pirates here on WGN. Fans enjoying a little holiday lunch before this one.
Guys, that asteroid is going to destroy the Earth.
There's only one thing left to do.
Yeah.
And here we go.
It's the sure sign of a good time. It's just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
We're safe.
Where do denture wearers get the confidence to be their effervescent selves? From Efferdent. Efferdent's powerful effervescence cleans dentures even in hard-to-reach places and kills odor-causing bacteria. Efferdent. And try zinc-free Evergrip adhesive.
Charlie Thomas, Scott Schroyer, and Bill Johnson. 3 real guys who still hadn't tried Domino's inspired new pizza with new sauce, crust, and cheese. So, in March of 2010, Domino's created personalized ad campaigns for each of them. Then we set up dozens of hidden cameras to capture their reactions.
This is crazy.
But did it work?
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
I love it.
Now get 2 medium, 2-topping inspired new pizzas for just $5.99 each. Know a holdout? Tell us at pizzaholdouts.com and you could win free pizza for a year.
So word's getting out that Geico can help people save in even more ways. On motorcycle insurance, RV, camper, boat insurance. Nice work, everyone.
Well, it's easy for him. He's a cute little lizard. Gecko, actually. With all due respect, if I was tiny and green and had a British accent, I'd have more folks paying attention to me, too. I mean, save money. Pip cheerio.
British? I thought you were Australian.
Well, it's funny you should ask, because actually, I'm from...
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
One a day Vitacraves, a complete adult multivitamin in a gummy to support energy, immunity, and your inner child. One a day Vitacraves, multivitamin gummies for grown-ups.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By Pepsi, every Pepsi refreshes. Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By Pepsi, every Pepsi refreshes the world. Submit your idea at refresheverything.com. And by Illinois Lottery's newest game, Powerball Wednesday and Saturday jackpots start at $20 million. Welcome back to Pittsburgh. Overcast. And in fact, the lights are on, but we hope to dodge any sort of rain until after the final out is recorded today. The unofficial start of summer, and it's a hot one here in Western PA. Let's look in on the Cubs Pepsi lineup brought to you by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Wearing the patriotic caps, as all teams around baseball are today. Fukudome leads it off. Bird in center. Lee, the former Pirate, Aramis Ramirez at just 166. We mentioned Fontenot in there for Terrio. Soriano at left. Giovanni Soto catching. The rookie Starlin Castro's at short. And Randy Wells will do the pitching.
Take a look at the Pirates defensively today. Ryan Church in left, Andrew McCutchen in center, Garrett Jones over in right field, LaRoche, Cedeno, Walker, and Clement across the infield for the Pirates today. Ryan Domit, the veteran catcher, behind the plate for right-hander Ross Ohlendorf. Showed you Ohlendorf's numbers a moment ago. Still looking for his first victory of the season. The ERA sits just over 5. Left-handers have done much better against the Pirates righty, then right-handed hitters. Lefties hitting .303, righties hitting only .243. Kind of surprised Tyler Colvin not in the lineup today.
Get the umpires for you. Andy Fletcher will call the balls and strikes. Tim McClellan, the crew chief, at first. Mike Everett at second. Todd Titchener is at third. Time now for the Chrysler game forecast, brought to you by Chrysler. For more information on our vehicle lineup, log on to Chrysler.com or stop by your Chicagoland or Northwest Indiana Chrysler dealer today. A swing and a miss, and here is our Chrysler game forecast. 81, but it feels a lot warmer than that, and a south wind. Outside corner. Quickly 0-2 on the Cubs leadoff man. And it has started to rain. I think it literally started to rain just as the first pitch was being delivered as Fukudome went. And that's a strikeout.
Well, just a little rain might cool things off a bit, maybe break a little bit of the humidity. It is a steamy day here in Pittsburgh, especially in the press box. The guys for the Pittsburgh television had a thermometer in their booth that was registering 95 degrees in the press box just about a half an hour ago. I don't think it's cooled off any quite yet.
Now Marlon Byrd.
That's because we're closer to the sun up here.
That is true. One strike on Marlon Byrd. I like those white caps with the red bills, the patriotic red, white, and blue logo. And Marlon just got hit by a pitch. He's now been hit 6 times. He's also walked 6 times. How about that? He's taken just as many plunkings as he has free passes.
And as usual, Marlon just drops his bat and heads on down to first base. There's probably a dent in the baseball, but it looks like Marlon's going to be okay.
So a 1-out base runner for Derek Lee. And a high strike from Ross Ohlendorf.
You know, Len, it seems like I say this every time we play the Pirates and Ryan Domit is behind the plate, but it bears repeating. Ryan Domit is very much an offense-minded catcher. He will clank a lot of balls behind home plate. He's only thrown out 2 of 32 attempted base stealers this season. Love to see the Cubs put some pressure on the Pirates on the bases.
His battery mate is 27 from Austin, Texas. Went to Princeton. And a quick snap throw over. And Byrd back in time.
Maybe the slightest bit of a lean over there at first base by Marlon Byrd, but was able to turn and dive back to the bag safely.
Another throw, and Byrd was only about a step and a half off the bag when Ohlendorf spun and fired. The Pirates have dropped 5 straight. Going into action today, they're 20-31 and in 5th place. Ground ball, nice play by LaRoche from one knee, gets 1 out, but no relay throw by Neil Walker.
Talk about those double plays. It usually starts with a hard hit ball. Fortunately for the Cubs, this time the ball wasn't hit that hard, but it was hit far enough to LaRoche's left. He had to leave his feet, and that allowed Derek Lee to beat out that fielder's choice at first.
Here's the struggling Aramis Ramirez, still trying to get on track. It's kind of hard to believe, but he has no 3-hit games all year. He has 3 2-hit games. Just has not been able to put together a monster type day, and that might be what he needs. You know, a 4 for 4 with a couple of home runs. I know the Cubs would gladly take that from their cleanup hitter. Starting to rain a little bit harder, and a lot of the fans, this is a pretty nice holiday crowd heading for cover. Although we are encouraged by this, the game started, and normally when there's a big threat of rain, they will not even start the game. Wait for the rain to head through, and then play when you know you can play for at least a couple of hours without any interruptions. As the crew chief, he makes all the big decisions at this point. Once that first pitch is fired, it's in the umpire's hands. Fouled back to the screen to make it 1-2 on Ramirez. Mike Fontenot is on deck.
Relatively low-key morning here at PNC Park. The Pirates did not take batting practice on the field. Cubs came out and hit before an empty stadium. Very relaxed morning of batting practice before the game today.
Another 1-2. Breaking ball is low, and that evens the count at 2-2. You see Ohlendorf working up a lather. A lot of sweat, now some raindrops soaking that cap. Well, it's really coming down now. And that got a piece of Domit, the right hand. And that keeps Ramirez alive. If Domit had caught it, it would have been a foul tip, strike 3.
Yeah, got a big piece of Domit. Took it right off the knuckles of that right hand. We were talking about that just the other day about catchers with a runner on base. You have to be a little more prepared in case you have to throw to second base. That time had that right hand up there exposed and really took a shot.
The 2-2, a swing and a miss, strike 3. And with that, the rain now starting to lighten up. Pirates are coming up.
It's raining out there.
So what do you guys want to do?
Make Rice Krispie treats.
How many cups is it?
6.
Oh, it's not 6 yet. Whoa, where's the pen?
Over there.
All right. Push it down, push it down.
Thank you for helping.
It's amazing what you can make out of a rainy day. Childhood is calling.
I just thought I'd try it out. I went on Ancestry.com, started playing around with my family tree. And this little leaf appears by my grandmother's name. When I clicked on it, I found trees built by other members that traced my family all the way back to before the Civil War.
Visit Ancestry.com and discover the world's largest online family history resource.
So you don't have to know what you're looking for. You just have to start looking.
Your discovery starts right now on Ancestry.com.
We're in the mood for baby back ribs for dinner tonight. Who's got them? And we're hungry, so it's got to be all you can eat.
On an endless dinner buffet, and all for around $10.
Thanks for dropping by.
Golden Corral is the first ever to offer up all the mouth-watering baby back ribs you want. Fall off the bone baby backs, drenched in your choice of 3 sauces, all on our endless dinner buffet, all for around $10.
$10? Glad we dropped by.
Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness.
Now the Pirates lineup, they have struggled to score runs, so John Russell has really tinkered with the lineup. Andrew McCutchen, who had hit third, is now in the leadoff spot. Neil Walker switch hitting second baseman. LaRoche, Jones, Church in the middle. Brian Domit has hit a lot of late big home runs for the Pirates. Clement, all of his homers have been on the road. The former Cub Cedeno and the pitcher Ohlendorf.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively behind Randy Wells. Brought to you by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. We'll come back to it here momentarily. Soriano, Bird, and Fukudome will be across the outfield this afternoon. Ramirez and Castro on the left side. Mike Fontenot spelling Ryan Theriot at second base today. Derek Lee over at first. And Giovanni Soto doing the catching for right-hander Randy Wells.
Well, 14 more pitches, and he will have reached what he dealt on Friday when he did not record an out against the St. Louis Cardinals. A very humbling outing for a guy who's very hard on himself. And the slider drops low. 2-2 on the very exciting Andrew McCutchen. And to be honest, he's been a little bit too exciting against the Cubs this season. Inside that time. He's 12 for 18 against the Cubs. And he hits a high pop fly out to center. Marlon Byrd came in, now back about a step. And a big first out. We are email accessible at LennonBob@Tribune.com. And you can follow us as well at Twitter.com/LennonBob. Here's a local kid, Neil Walker, recently brought up from AAA. He's a switch hitter, originally a catcher, then he was converted to third base, and in an effort to increase his versatility, he's played some second, where he is today, and in the outfield as well. You may remember his dad, Tom Walker, pitched in the majors in the 70s. Fukudome over, lays out, makes a catch. Nicely done by Kosuke to rob Walker of at least a two-base hit.
Now, wind normally not a big factor here at PNC Park, although the flags behind right field would indicate it's blowing across from right to left. Maybe push that ball back toward Fukudome just enough that he's able to get there with a dive and make a great catch out there in right field.
2 outs in the inning, and that one almost hit Andy LaRoche. LaRoche has been battling some back issues off and on here in the first couple of months. The 2-0 on the way. That's fouled back our way. Well, the rain did cool it off just a little bit. Feeling a slight breeze that is blowing the rain into our booth.
Of course it is.
Of course.
This press box is so high up here on the stadium. I thought we were above the rain, but I guess not.
Ball 4 to keep the inning alive. Brings up Garrett Jones. As we mentioned in the open, he's had a big year against the Cubs as well, with 10 hits and 22 at-bats. And he's also driven in 10 runs. Garrett Jones from the Chicago area. Went to Andrew High School in Tinley Park, and he was born in Harvey. Keeping an eye on LaRoche over at first.
That's good to see, because on the pitch before, LaRoche had a walking lead over there and had ideas about breaking for second base as Randy Wells delivered to the plate. Got to keep him honest, got to make him stop.
A bouncer to Derek Lee, pretty routine for him, and that's the inning. So we played one in the rain in Pittsburgh. We are scoreless.
CC looks a bit rattled out there, and Dave Island is coming out for a visit.
Dave, I think we should put an organic garden in that bullpen.
I think we should organize a group hug for all of New York.
Mobile classrooms, that was your idea, wasn't it?
How about a pizza party for all of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Senior prom for senior citizens.
I don't know about that one. Pepsi's spending millions to fund refreshing ideas. Vote for ideas you care about at refresheverything.com.
See that girl in the stands? She got some great ideas.
Nice finger. A wart could get used to this. Liquid wart remover. That's all you got? That could take weeks to treat me. Did it get cold?
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away removes warts fast with as little as one treatment.
You'll miss me.
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away.
It basically took me the whole summer. And I don't know how many times I needed to go to AutoZone, but at least now when I go, it's not on my bike.
Sometimes the tool with the most power isn't a power tool at all. The Craftsman Cross-Force Wrench, uniquely designed to deliver greater torque with every turn. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Chips Ahoy, crammed with real chocolate chips. There's a lot of joy in Chips Ahoy.
Every game is a perfect game on WGN America.
Time now to look at our PNC Cubs achievers. Derek Lee and Alfonso Soriano both one home run away from a milestone, sitting on the 299 for their career. PNC Bank is proud to be an official sponsor of the Chicago Cubs and just as proud to support the fans and community who cheer them on. PNC for the achiever in us all. Mike Fontenot flies out to left. Ryan Church the catch. One pitch, one out here in the second.
So almost a 200 RBI differential between Soriano and Derek Lee. Even though the batting average and the home runs were very, very close, the home runs were identical. That's because Derek Lee has spent most of his career as a middle-of-the-lineup run producer, and Alfonso Soriano, until recently, had been a leadoff hitter. A lot more RBI opportunities hitting than that 3-4-5 hole.
And Soriano hitting sixth, taking ball one as the rain continues to lightly fall and the wind has really kicked up. Swing and a miss. Fonzie sees a lot of breaking balls. He could not get that slider. This is the most played rivalry in Major League history. The Cubs against the Pirates. The 2,360th all-time meeting. And it's the 47th time they've met up on Memorial Day. With a 3-2 to Soriano and a fly ball down the left field line that'll hook way foul. Fan tried to make a catch with his cap and he whiffed on it.
he got his hat back. That's the good news.
Punched foul the other way.
Nice shot by Soriano just to waste that borderline pitch. Here's that fan we were talking about. Tried to go up with the cap and make the catch. The ball knocked the hat right out of his hand. And he lost the wrestling match for the baseball, but he did get his hat back.
High in the air, pretty well hit, but that's Death Valley for most fly balls, and it drops. McCutchen had his glove on it. Soriano is on his way to third, and he'll get in there with a triple. Church and McCutchen got together out in left center. Looked like McCutchen had his glove on it, but he just didn't haul it in. And my guess is they'll give him a hit.
I just assumed that was McCutchen's ball. He covers so much territory out there in center and in the gaps to right and left, and he looked like he had a beat on it the whole way, but then at the last minute Church comes into the picture and he had a beat on it also. The left fielder gave way at the last moment. Run. Well, he made it to third base safely. That's the good news.
Throw is going to go to first as Soto drives in Soriano with a ground out. And it's 1-0 Cubs. Soto gets his 12th RBI of the season. And they did give Soriano a triple. So the Cubs strike first. And here's Starlin Castro with 2 outs and nobody on. Fastball strike.
And then we talk about this all the time. We had the shot of Soriano not going hard out of the batter's box. Now, as I said, the good news is he made it to third base anyway, but he had to go in with a head first slide. The idea being if you run hard out of the box, maybe you don't have to slide at third base.
McCutchen makes the catch and the inning is over. Quick inning, but the Cubs got the first run and lead 1-0.
Dear PlayStation, I'm going against Steve on this Mod Nation Racers track I made. He's pretty good.
Man up, Twitchy. This is your house. You created this track, made these shortcuts. The whole PlayStation Network's scared of your squish block things.
Yeah.
This track's a part of you. Like an undersized jockstrap.
Yeah.
Some Steve's gonna defile it like a junkyard sofa? Wrong! Wrong is so right, it's wrong, right?
I think so.
No, you know so.
Mod Nation Racers, rated E for everyone.
PlayStation.
Okay, listen up. I'm here to get the lady of the house back on her feet. OJ, veggies, you're cool. Mayo, corn dogs, you are so out of here. Because I'm reworking the menu, keeping her healthy and you on your toes.
The complete balanced nutrition of Ensure, with 24 vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, and omega-3s.
I see you, Cupcake. Ensure, nutrition in charge.
So rich.
Hola, amigo. It's me, your TV. Just pulled the plug on your cable to show you something sweet. With DirecTV, get a DVR that stores twice as many shows as cable. So load it up. Sports, soaps, absolutely. Reality show marathon, not my thing, but cool. Lots of movies, why not? You got the room. Stop limiting yourself. Give them a call and check out that deal. DirecTV, it'll change your life.
Now Snapple's got healthy green tea, tasty black tea, real sugar. What's our slogan?
Best your stuff. Stuffy stuff.
Good stuff for bettering stuff.
Guys, the best stuff on earth just got better.
Good stuff, Greg. I'm okay with Greg.
We're dating.
Snapple, the best stuff on earth just got better.
Alfonso Soriano with his second triple of the year and scores the first run today. In support of Randy Wells, ball 1 to Ryan Church, the left fielder. Up to a very slow start at just 208. Soft liner right at Starlin Castro. Tickets are selling quickly, but there's still time to get great seats for games this summer. Bleacher seats are still available as well. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Call 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit the Wrigley Field box office. Looks like a decent amount of Cub fans made the holiday trip to Pittsburgh for this one. That guy might be in full uniform.
With his stirrups on. He's wearing his protective cup just in case.
Dolman hits a ground ball to Derek, who will underhand to Randy Wells. And 2 quick outs.
Yeah, while we have a moment, let's check out who's moving forward with Toyota. You mentioned the rivalry between the Cubs and the Pirates on Memorial Day. Most wins on Memorial Day, the Cubs and the Buccos in a dead tie at 104. We want to be #1 after this afternoon. Toyota and your local Toyota dealers, official partners of the Chicago Cubs.
Jeff Clement homered yesterday in a loss in Atlanta. He's hit 5 homers this season. They have all been on the road. He comes in at just 205. Swing and a miss. Waved at the changeup. 2-1. The thunder growling in the background. We might see a rainbow here, partner. The sun is starting to appear, and it's still raining.
That's usually when it happens. I didn't realize that was thunder. I thought that was my stomach. I didn't have much breakfast this morning.
Well, I could be wrong. Maybe that was you. Pulled foul. What Randy Wells is doing has not been done very often. Starting on just 2 days rest after his last start, the first Cubs pitcher in almost 2 decades to make 2 starts in about a 72-hour span. Mike Bilecki was the last to do it in 1990. Went just an inning and a third against the Mets, and then 3 days later went 7 against the Phillies. Bird tracking this one into left center, and he hauls it in right in front of the 4:10 marker. We've completed 2 on Memorial Day. Cubs 1, Pirates nothing.
Hey, Uncle Bob.
Hey. Oh, Bud Light. Here we go.
This is a hospital. You're sick.
This party's gonna be sick. Whoop. What's up, guys? Room 324. Can we fill this with ice? Clear. You'll need this, trust me. Bud Light and 324. We gotta ice these down!
It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Nurse costumes, I like it.
It's raining out there.
So what do you guys want to do?
Make Rice Krispie treats.
How many cups is it?
6.
Oh, it's not 6 yet. Whoa, where's the pan?
Over there.
All right. Push it down, push it down.
Thank you for helping.
It's amazing what you can make out of a rainy day. Childhood is calling.
No matter what life throws at you, you can take the heat till it turns into heartburn. You've got what it takes. Zantac. It's strong, fast, lasting relief. So let them turn up the heat. You can stop that heartburn cold. Zantac.
Where do denture wearers get the confidence to be their effervescent selves? From Efferdent. Efferdent's powerful effervescence cleans dentures even in hard-to-reach places and kills odor-causing bacteria. Be your effervescent self with Efferdent.
Today's game is brought to you by Budweiser, official beer of the first inning. Let's check out the crowd through the first inning fan cam and see who's enjoying the game.
It's late in the day and I ain't been on the court yet. Hustle to the mall to get me a short set. Yeah, I got on sneaks, but I need a new pair. Cause basketball courts in the summer got girls there. The temperature's about 88. Hop in the water plug, just for old time's sake. Break to your crib, change your clothes once more. Cause you're invited to a barbecue to start at 4. Sitting with your friends as y'all reminisce about the days growing up.
That's Will Smith with Summertime Budweiser. It's what we do.
Pitcher Randy Wells leading off for the Cubs in the third with a 1-0 lead. Cubs dropped 2 of 3 over the weekend against St. Louis and completed a 3-3 homestand. That's hit hard but foul. Cubs residing in third in the Central, and the 3 teams beneath them in the standings will all be opponents on this trip. That handcuffed Ronnie Cedeno, and Randy Wells is aboard. Boy, he hit it right at Ronnie, and that's an error on him.
Cedeno's 6th error of the season. Sharply hit ball right at him. He kind of got caught in between whether to catch that ball fingers up or fingers down, and turns out he didn't catch it at all.
It looked like it hurt him a little bit.
Hopefully the Cubs will make it hurt here. Take advantage of that defensive miscue by the former Cub.
Fukudome struck out to begin the game. The kick and the pitch outside corner, according to Andy Fletcher. 1-1. It has stopped raining.
Well, you hit it right on the head, partner. If there was any chance that rain was going to be significant or last for any amount of time, I'm sure Tim McClellan, the crew chief, would have called the teams off the field. But because they played through that little bit of a shower, I have to believe the rest of the day is going to be fine.
Well, I'm a glass half full guy, especially after it got filled up by the rain. And I'm going to go with that. We're going to be fine.
The initial reports I heard this morning on the local television was the rain wasn't supposed to get here until after the ball game, but a little bit of it. We'll see the thunderstorms tonight.
Here's a pitch. Well, he's just missed on the last 2. Good eye by Fukudome. 3-1. Cubs finishing up the month of May. They're 13-14, so a win today would make it a 502nd month. Double play ball. And that gets away from Walker. Play was a lot trickier than it originally appeared. He was able to knock it down, but then as the ball squirted away, he couldn't get anybody out. So the Cubs have not really hit one out of the infield. They have 2 on. That's a base hit.
It looked like Walker kind of rolled over his wrist or his glove of that left hand as he made that diving stop. Just wasn't able to get the ball out of the glove into the bare hand and toss it onto Cedeno for the force play. Actually kicked it a little bit further away. Take advantage.
Teams give you extra outs. It would be rude to give them right back. It's kind of the way you have to look at it. Domit's going to go out and talk with his pitcher before Marlon Byrd bats. I'm sure John Russell's feeling the same way. Like, you can't give teams extra outs, especially if you're the Pirates and you've struggled to score runs.
Well, we talked in the series at Wrigley Field a couple of weeks ago about the Pirates and their idea of bunching their outfielders, trying to take the gaps away a little bit. And Marlon Byrd hits a lot of balls right down that left field line. Kosuke Fukudome needs to make sure his legs are good and loose so he can score on a double.
Byrd trying to bunt and didn't make contact. 1 strike.
Well, the Pirates believe that they'll take a lot more base hits and extra base hits away by moving their corner outfielders closer to the gaps as opposed to playing a straight up position a little bit closer to the lines and covering more ground toward foul territory. Leaves them susceptible to those balls hit down in either corner, though.
Well, it looked like Andy Fletcher was ready to pull the trigger, but he didn't. That's a big swing pitch. Instead of 0-2, it's 1-1. Down the left field line, near the pole, and just foul. That's the easiest place to hit a home run in this ballpark. Right down the left field line. You have a short wall. It's only 325. He missed it by a few feet.
Yeah, just got out in front a little bit, had some side English on that baseball. It tried to hold its line down the left field line, but at the very end just hooked into foul territory.
This one driven to center. McCutchen with the catch. Wells tagging and stopping. And you know what? I think he made the right move. I think Randy Wells would have been a dead duck at third base if he had kept on running.
Well, because McCutchen got rid of the ball so quickly, that ball's in and out of his glove. He hustled it back into Walker, the cutoff man, very quickly. I think Randy Wells was going to have trouble making it to third base if he continued on.
So the runners did not move, and it's up to Derek Lee with 1 out. And you know what Ohlendorf wants? He's trying to get a ground ball double play. Swing and a miss. Now, we often talk about not motivating yourself with negative thoughts. And the point being, Derek's not going up there saying, I'm trying not to hit into a double play. But is he saying to himself, I'm trying to lift the ball?
Get a pitch up, something I know I can hit in the air. Ohlendorf's not really a sinker ball pitcher, the kind of guy that's going to throw a lot of ground balls because of the movement on his fastball. He tends to throw a lot of four-seam fastballs, especially to the outside corner. But as a hitter, you want to make sure you get something up in the strike zone where you have a much better probability of hitting the ball in the air.
It bounced in front of home plate.
Of course, with 2 strikes, that all goes out the window. You just have to battle, try to protect the plate, foul off those pitchers' pitches around the edges of the zone. If he happens to make a mistake, be ready to jump on it. That hat just doesn't look right on Lou.
Ohlendorf ready. The kick and the 1-2 to Lee, and he went. If there was any doubt about that, Tim McClellan made the call from first. 2 down as Ohlendorf tries to get out of this inning.
Still an opportunity here with 2 outs for Aramis Ramirez to possibly cash in one of these base runners, hopefully both base runners. You heard Jim Hendry talking about it in the pregame show. Just need to come up with some key base hits at the right time, and especially in this particular situation, you've got the number 9 hitter on base, the number 1 hitter got on base. You got to work through the middle of your lineup. Your 2, 3, 4 hitters, you would expect to be able to get at least 1 run out of this situation.
The inning started When Randy Wells lined it to Ronnie Cedeno, and Cedeno couldn't handle it for an error. And then Fukudome with an infield hit. The bird flied out to center. Lee struck out, and it's 0-1 on Aramis Ramirez. Pitcher and catcher getting together once again.
Well, and I was always more concerned when it was the catcher who was the base runner at second, because the catcher's used to giving signs. He's used to trying to decipher what the other team is giving for their signs. But same thing goes for a pitcher like Randy Wells, who coincidentally was a catcher in the minor leagues. Randy knows what he's looking for when he peers into Ryan Dohm's signs, and he's been out there long enough that the Pirates weren't comfortable. And Dohma went out to change the signs with Ohlendorf, and we'll get started again here.
Ohlendorf just hasn't been able to get his season jump started. Last year 11 wins and an ERA that was under 4, but just about a month on the DL after his first start this season with back spasms. Pirates were really expecting big things from him when the season began. LaRoche will throw to second. And an opportunity missed for the Cubs. 2 on, nobody out, and they do not score. Maybe grab some barbecue over at Manny Sanguin's place here on Memorial Day. 1-0 Cubs.
Dad put me in timeout for a very minor dinner table infraction. And oh look, he's helping himself to my unguarded Kraft macaroni and cheese. Clever, Dad. Send me up the river on trumped up chargers and scarf down my mac and cheese. Classy. Have you had enough?
Gooey, creamy, delicious Kraft macaroni and cheese. You know you love it.
The versatility of multiple wrenches, all in one tool. Introducing the Craftsman Universal Ratcheting Wrench. One tool, tackling many bolts, faster. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
We have a pretty big family. Yeah. All boys.
I call them our starting 5.
Yeah. So when we go out, like the other night, we have to make sure they get enough to eat.
Pass these down to your brothers and make sure they get some, okay?
Olive Garden introduces our new crust bellies. Handcrafted Italian crepes, oven baked and stuffed with 5 cheeses, then topped with herb marinated chicken in a garlic cream sauce, or with grilled Italian sausage in our tomato Alfredo, starting at just $10.95 with unlimited salad and breadsticks.
Olive Garden's one of the few places we can take our family where everyone's happy.
Olive Garden, when you're here, your family.
Coppertone Sport outshines. It protects you from the most damaging rays across 100% of the UVA UVB spectrum, and the protection stays on better because it's ultra sweat-proof. Coppertone Sport outshines so you can enjoy the sun.
We love baseball in America's WGN.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN TV is sponsored in part by the Illinois Lottery Mega Millions. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is $12 million.
Glad to have you spend your holiday afternoon with us for Cubs baseball here in Pittsburgh. That's one way to keep score. You write in the leadoff man, and then you just write "and rest" with a big arrow.
I like that. Yeah, you know, Memorial Day was always special for me. My father served in the Navy in World War II and the Korean War. And unfortunately, my father-in-law, Jack Fitzgibbons, recently passed away. He was in the Korean War and really spearheaded the effort in my hometown of Coshocton, Ohio, to build a veterans memorial down near the courthouse. And both are sorely missed here on Memorial Day, but they'll never be forgotten.
And we want to pass along our condolences to you and your wife, Joan. Randy Wells here in the third. Against Ronnie Cedeno, and a slider is low, ball 1. Missed opportunity. Hopefully we don't go back to the top of this inning. That's a strike.
Use that guy to clean off the seats after that little rain shower. He was a lot smaller when he got here, but that sponge is absorbing some moisture here today.
His name is Bob. Sponge Bob.
Probably not the best day to wear some kind of a costume.
I would tend to agree. Well, we don't see Cedeno play every day anymore, but when we have seen him with the Pirates, I think we've seen pretty much what we saw when he was a Cub. Some flashy plays defensively, some stretches offensively during which he's very good. Ramirez will pick it up and throw him out, but also some errors on routine plays and some strikeouts at the plate. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Way Back Wednesdays with Winslow. Wednesday at 8 East 5 West on WGN America.
Ross Ohlendorf batting for the first time. Takes ball one. Two teams ahead of the Cubs are matching up in St. Louis today, the Reds and the Cardinals. Be a late afternoon matchup. Bronson Arroyo and Jaime Garcia on the mound. How about Ubaldo Jimenez versus Tim Lincecum in San Francisco today? Jimenez will look for his 10th win. Wells with his first strikeout. 2 gone.
And judging from his recent starts, Lincecum will look for the strike zone. He's had some trouble throwing strikes, some issues possibly with his mechanics. Of course, you won't find a pitcher in the big leagues with more unique mechanics than Tim Lincecum. So when something goes haywire, you're basically left to fend for yourself.
Inside corner strike on McCutchen. Batting leadoff for the 3rd straight game. Pretty dynamic player. Again, a guy who could hit 3rd or 1st. He could hit anywhere in this lineup. But you'd want him near the top.
Well, if you're John Russell, you want him on base. Pirates have 28 stolen bases this season. He has 12 of them.
Just missed. See, Randy got a little dirty when he was on the bases, but did not opt for a different clean uniform.
Well, he may after this half inning. He was on base to end the last half inning. Didn't really have the opportunity to go in and change into drier, cleaner clothing. He might like it. You know, he's a former catcher. That feels very comfortable to him. Boy, just missed away on the 0-2 pitch. Just missed in on the 2-2 pitch right there.
Ball 4, and he surrounded the zone in that at bat. Very patient plate appearance for McCutchen. And with them not having done much early, we may see him try to take off. Lou would like to see Giovanni Soto improve upon his caught stealing percentage. He's only caught 1 out of every 6 on the season, and it's a team effort with the pitching staff, but because the Cubs have played in so many close games, Lou really wants Gio to throw some people out.
McCutchen leaning that time. You talk about it being a group effort with the pitcher, the catcher. Also include the middle infielders in that. There were some occasions early in the season when Ryan Theriot, Mike Fontenot both took throws from Giovanni Soto well up in front of second base and couldn't get the tag back on the runner, even though the ball appeared to beat him to second base.
0-1 on Neil Walker.
That's a big pitch right there. When you have a base stealer on at first in a potential run situation, you love to get ahead in the count to give yourself the option of a pitch out. If you fall behind to that hitter at the plate, you don't want to fall further behind with a pitch out. So by jumping ahead in the count 0-1 here, that's definitely going to work in the Cubs' advantage should they choose to pitch out and try to get McCutchen at second.
See him dancing off the bag, and Wells will fire again. I'll tell you, it is the kind of day with the rain we got earlier where a lot of guys might change their uniform simply because that dirt's pretty heavy. He's already weighted down by a lot of hair.
And not to get too graphic here, but when you slide head first in that infield dirt, some of it tends to find its way inside your uniform, and that can be very grating. That's not a good feeling.
Yeah, I think we know where you're going. Change up outside, 1-1 on Walker is going to get a majority of the playing time at second base. Aki Iwamura off to a terribly slow start. He's hitting just 173. Base hit left field. That's their first knock of the afternoon against Randy. And a 2-out rally here in the third inning.
Nice piece of hitting that time by Neil Walker. Stayed right on that pitch that was outside mid thighs. Just drove it into left field over the head of a leaping Aramis Ramirez.
Well, everybody's dirty. Look at Andy LaRoche. You've got a clean uniform today. You might want to roll around in the infield dirt between innings just to not stand out.
What former utility infielder Casey Candell used to do all the time. He'd come out with a brand new spotless clean uniform on and roll around in the dirt in front of the dugout, and he rarely played. But if you happen to look in the dugout in the 4th or 5th inning of the game, it looked like he'd been on base 3 or 4 times, sliding head first. He was a real dirtbag, and I mean that in the best possible way. He was a gamer.
Ground ball to Castro. He will throw to Fontenot at second base. And the Pirates lead 2. We've completed 3. Cubs 1. Pirates nothing.
Happy 25th birthday, Blizzard!
Check it out. Every party needs a clown, right?
I didn't have a clown at my birthday. Me neither.
Sorry, turning 9 does not compare with being the world's greatest treat for 25 years, okay?
Clowns are earned, kids.
We are.
Celebrate the Blizzard's 25th with the Strawberry Golden Oreo Blizzard with Golden Oreo cookies and strawberries. Then follow the party tour at DQ.com.
The Craftsman Cordless Multi-Tool. The power and versatility of 6 tools packed into one. More innovation, more great values. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does Charlie Daniels play a mean fiddle?
That's how you do it, son.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Losing isn't all bad.
Coach always takes us to Pizza Hut after a tough loss. All the pizzas we love are just $10 each.
Winning is so overrated.
Any pizza at Pizza Hut is just $10. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings, only $10. Only at your Pizza Hut.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. We hope you're having a great Memorial Day. You're watching Cubs baseball on WGN, your official summer baseball station. Len and Bob and our WGN Sports crew from now sunny Pittsburgh. A 1-strike count on Mike Fontenot, who simply had a better month in limited time at the plate than has Ryan Theriot. And Fontenot getting the start today, and it might not be a one-day thing. Even with the out today, Fontenot's 10 for his last 21. Had a 2-triple performance on Saturday against St. Louis. This is Church out in left. 1 out, and it'll bring up Soriano, who has scored the only run.
There's no question Ryan Theriot hasn't been reaching base as often as he would like or as the Cubs would like, but the one thing you get with Ryan Theriot is a better defense at second base. Mike Fontenot is a gamer. He's a hustler. He tries hard, but Theriot a much smoother second baseman, especially around that bag on the double play pivot.
Fastball strike to Soriano. Alfonso at 306 on the year. He has hit 300 once. That was 2002. He hit exactly 300 right on the button with the Yankees. He fouls out to Clement for the second out.
Time now to check out today's improvement from Menards. We'll take a look at Giovanni Soto as he makes his way to the plate. He has absolutely beat up on the Pirates in his career. A .380 batting average, .247 against the rest of the major leagues. For all your home improvement needs, shop and save big money at Menards.
He has the RBI today on a ground out as he pulls the grounder foul. Ooh, 3 fans had a shot, could not make the play. Mike Quaddy now gets to choose. Who's been nice to me? There you go.
Find a Cub fan.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've said it before. If you go to a game, be nice to the base coaches, because if you're not, they're probably going to look past you to give you that souvenir baseball.
And a step further, be nice to the base umpires, because they've been known to toss a ball or two in the stands during the course of the ball game. That's a little tougher to do, though.
The 1-2 to Soto, and that'll be a base hit into left center to keep the inning alive for Castro.
Now, we just showed you the numbers Giovanni Soto hitting against the Buccos, and keeps that average up there with a clean single into left field. Getting progressively brighter as the day goes on here. Eventually we're going to have a timeout as the defenders come in to get their sunglasses, I would guess, but hopefully they'll be able to wait till the end of the inning. See, that's why those flip downs were, that's brilliant design for baseball. If you don't need them, you flip them up. If you do need them, you flip them down.
Oh, that's what you like, right?
Oh, please. That's what the sunglass companies like. It's like a billboard. Keep the sun off the logo. I don't get it. I mean, if a ball goes up in the air right now and the sun happens to peek from behind the clouds, you can't stop and pull your sunglasses off your hat and put them on.
What I would worry about is anytime you move that the glasses are going to fall off your hat.
Yeah, but it looks cool. Not picking on Ronnie. He's not the only guy. We see it all around Major League Baseball. Cubs have a number of guys that do the same thing.
3-1. This seems to be a workaround here as Randy Wells is on deck. And Bob, if you're Castro, do you expand your zone on 3-1 in this spot?
Well, I think depending on where the pitch is, I think Starlin Castro would be well advised to look for something away and try to shoot that hole on the right side. It was right there. I mean, if you try to think along with a pitcher and you look at the defense and the way they're set up, you kind of have an idea in the back of your mind. If he tries to throw me on that outside corner, I'm going to dive in toward the plate and try to shoot it through the right side.
Ohlendorf knows Soto will be running with this pitch.
I guess to answer your question, I would say yes. Some managers feel differently. Some baseball people feel differently. But I would much rather have Starlin Castro perhaps chasing a borderline pitch out of the strike zone, trying to make something happen, than taking the pitch for ball 4 and putting it on Randy Wells.
Garrett Jones will haul it in. Garrett Jones will lead off the bottom of the 4th with his team trailing the Cubs 1-0.
WGN America has something really big going on.
I had everything I needed right up here.
When we say big, we mean really big.
It's Dr. Angry Head.
Catch the comedy block whose dominant feature is, well,
I know you're going to wish you were bigger.
impossible to ignore.
It's big. They're really big.
The Dancing Doubleheader, only on WGN America.
Put a refreshing spin on your summer. Bud Light Lime. Superior drinkability. Ultimate refreshment. A splash of 100% natural lime flavor. One taste and you'll find the summer state of mind. Bud Light Lime.
This Father's Day, show Dad you care. Visit Overstock.com for name brand products at up to 70% off every day. You'll find gifts for every dad. Let Overstock.com show you what you're looking for, and your entire order ships for just $2.95. Overstock.com, at home with the O.
Gotta measure twice.
Hey, what's up? It's your TV. I unplugged your cable to show you something that'll blow your mind. DirecTV. With DirecTV, you can watch all your games at once. Watch basketball, hockey, tennis, whatever, all at the same time. 8 screens on your TV. It's like being at a sports bar, but you're not. You're on the couch, at home, in your tighties. Nice. Give them a call and check out that deal. DirecTV. It'll change your life.
The 2010 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN is brought to you by Bud Light Lime. The drinkability of Bud Light with a refreshing taste of lime.
Well, Randy Wells pitching a lot better than he did the last time he faced the Pirates, and even recording an out today meant a better performance than his last start, which was on Friday against St. Louis. Given up 1 hit and 3 base runners through 3 and leading 1-0.
I'm sure Randy doesn't want to hear about it, but you know, since we're talking about that last outing against the Cardinals, he faced 6 batters without recording an out or allowing a home run or a walk. That was the 6th time that that's happened since 1952, and the only reason I bring this up is a former teammate of mine, Mike Lacoste, did it twice. Did it against the Expos back in 1979. Did it against the Cardinals in 1981.
So no walks and no home runs. So a lot of hits, a lot of base hits.
Yep. I got to get my dig in on Buffy.
Were you catching one of those?
No. I will take no blame for those.
Two and 1 on Garrett Jones. And time called by the home plate umpire, Andy Fletcher. Pulled foul. Well, Randy did not change his entire uniform. Still has the dirty trousers, but he has a clean jersey.
order to change the pants, you got to take the shoes off, you know, take the belt out of this pair of pants, slide it into the new one. So we may see him do that between innings. Just a little bit at a time.
Another foul as Jones stays alive. A few other games started early today like ours did. Atlanta leading Philadelphia 3-0 in the bottom of the third. That's a big matchup over in the National League East. Rolled up the middle. Castro with excellent range behind second. He throws out Jones. Experienced Cubs baseball from the private comfort of the Bud Light Batter's Eye in center field, offering a spectacular view and catered service for groups of 75 to 100. The Bud Light Batter's Eye is a great option for entertaining in Chicago's unpredictable spring weather. It's also available for non-game day functions. To book your date or for more info, visit Cubs.com/suites or call 773-404-4200. Milwaukee leading at Florida 4-0 in the bottom of the sixth. Chris Narveson, 5 shutout innings. I think they're really that concerned about the game right now. It's all about the desserts. 1-2 on Ryan Church.
Got to eat the dessert fast today. That'll melt quickly under these conditions.
Church has 2 homers, and they both have come against the Cubs. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Randy Wells apparently found a hole in Ryan Church's swing. He just continually pounded that ball in underneath his hands, off the plate inside, got the swinging strike for strike 3 on Church.
Switch hitting Ryan Doumit. Kind of a quirky number. All 5 of his home runs have been hit in the 8th inning or later. Which would lead you to believe he's been pretty good against teams' bullpens.
Kind of unusual in the fact that he plays the most physically demanding position on the field, and you would figure by the end of the game maybe physically starting to wear down a little bit, but 5 bombs late, that's big.
Outside ball 4. And he's walked 3, and they've all come after he's retired the first 2 batters of that particular inning. So he'll face Jeff Clement, who flied to the warning track in his first at bat. Yeah, I'm looking at the home run logs for Ryan Doumit. He has homered off George Sherrill, twice off Trevor Hoffman, Takashi Saito, and Nick Massett. So he has not homered off a starting pitcher all year. And the 1-1 to Clement is a strike. 1-2. Clement, a former Seattle Mariner. Former standout catcher at USC. Won the Johnny Bench Award in 2005. That's the highest award you can receive as a collegiate catcher. High fly ball. Bird over into left center. And kind of in a similar area to the last Clement fly out. On to the fifth. 1-zip Cubs.
CC looks a bit rattled out there, and Dave Island is coming out for a visit.
Dave, I think we should put an organic garden in that bullpen.
I think we should organize a group hug for all of New York.
Mobile classrooms, that was your idea, wasn't it?
How about a pizza party for all of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Senior prom for senior citizens. I don't know about that one.
Pepsi's spending millions to fund refreshing ideas. Vote for ideas you care about at refresheverything.com.
See that girl in the stands? She got some great ideas.
Dear PlayStation, I'm going against Steve on this Mod Nation Racers track I made. He's pretty good. Man up, Twitchy. This is your house. You created this track, made these shortcuts. The whole PlayStation network's scared of your squish block things. Yeah. This track's a part of you, like an undersized jockstrap. Yeah. Some Steve's gonna defile it like a junkyard sofa? Wrong! Wrong is so right, it's wrong, right? I think so.
No, you know so. Mod Nation Racers, rated E for everyone.
PlayStation.
Where do denture wearers get the confidence to be their effervescent selves? From Efferdent. Efferdent's powerful effervescence cleans dentures even in hard-to-reach places and kills odor-causing bacteria. Be your effervescent self with Efferdent.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles with 2 different gels for softness and support are outrageously comfortable.
I'd rather walk anyway.
Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
Think yours is the most beautiful baby? Prove it, and you could win $5,000 in the Beautiful Babies Contest. It's free and open to babies 3 to 48 months at WGNAmerica.com.
We watch baseball.
We watch baseball.
We watch baseball.
We watch baseball on America's WGN.
Now time for the 5th inning, brought to you by Subway. Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. Randy Wells reached on an error his first time up, and he hits a high infield pop. Neil Walker near the bag at second, one-handed and one out.
Time to check out our AT&T U-verse replay. It came in the first inning defensively for the Cubs. Kosuke Fukudome ranging far to his left toward that foul line to make a beautiful diving catch. Find out more of what's possible at AT&T.com. AT&T, rethink possible.
Fastball at 88, strike one. Sun is out. We got a little rain when we started. In fact, the rain coincided almost perfectly with the first pitch, but it only rained for about an inning and a half. Very hot and humid here in Pittsburgh.
You may notice Russ Ohlendorf places the baseball in his glove and then stands on the mound with his throwing hand to his side. So many pitchers nowadays we see they get a grip, whether it's a split finger or a change-up grip. He sets the ball just so in his glove so he can reach in there and get whatever grip he needs to get. But it's unusual to see a pitcher start with the ball in his glove and not do any maneuvering to get that grip. Something he's obviously worked very hard to make sure he's not tipping any of his pitches. Set that ball just so in the glove so as you reach in you can either grab a four-seam fastball grip or a breaking ball grip or a change-up grip without too much movement.
Full count, 3-2. Ohlendorf hasn't walked anybody. He did hit Marlon Byrd in the first, and Byrd is on deck. Ball four. There's the first walk. We Let's have a little fun with a guy who pitched in the big leagues for a long time, named Bob Walk. Kind of an ironic name for a pitcher. Bob now a member of the Pirates broadcasting team. You have Homer Bailey and Bob Walk. Bob wearing his Pirates yellow.
Boy, he was a heck of a competitor. Good sinker, good slider. Wasn't afraid to stick one in your rib cage every now and again if he thought you were getting too comfortable at the plate. Bob Walk was the one with the thermometer over in the home booth. Said it was 95 degrees. I told him he used to like it on days like this. Yeah, but not to broadcast.
Ohlendorf has a sign from Domet. Here he comes on an 0-1. Cute foul. Ohlendorf was an intern this past offseason. Spent 2 months with the Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C. Met the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Tom Vilsack, who's from Pittsburgh. When Vilsack was here to throw out a ceremonial first pitch and asked him about interning. So they worked a 20-hour week. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kosuke faked towards second as the pitch was being delivered. Bird struck out, 2 down.
Now, most right-handed hitters don't like to see that runner bluffing down there at first base, especially in a 2-strike count. If you think he's going to run, a lot of hitters will play that just like a hit and run. If they know the runner's going to be on the move, there's going to be a huge hole on the right side of the field. But that time Kosuke faked to second base. Bird ended up swinging at a bad pitch.
Ball 1 to Derek Lee. During his internship, Ross Ohlendorf tracked diseases in livestock and conducted research with the National Animal Identification System, and he got to meet First Lady Michelle Obama in November. I'm assuming, Bob, it was an unpaid internship.
Animal identification, does that mean like looking at an animal and saying that's a cow? Or?
I'm guessing it would be animals that maybe got away or were lost.
So like issuing ID cards to
yes.
Yeah, what a great experience for Ohlendorf. I mean, if that's something that you're interested in, and obviously he is. That's a great experience.
Yeah, he and his family have raised longhorns in Texas. Like you, he came within 1 correct answer of a perfect math section on the SAT.
I wonder if we missed the same question.
Kind of like the Hall of Fame. You don't want to get them all right. You don't want to get 100% of the votes and 100% of the SATs, because that would be just mean to throw that in people's faces.
That's just showing off. I think people would find that interesting. You know, there's a perception out there of baseball players. They only know their own sport, and some of them don't even know that. You know, not up on current events and government and civics. We had Justice Sandra Day O'Connor in the booth last week, and she was talking about an emphasis on civics in the schools. And I think it's interesting when you find a player who has interests outside of baseball.
And his high school baseball coach, as he faces Ramirez with 2 on and 2 down, was Keith Moreland. He's obviously very proud of Ross Ohlendorf. I don't know if Ross got his math skills from Zonk, but he can take credit for it if he so chooses.
It seems like we've said this an awful lot for Aramis Ramirez this year, but an opportunity here to give the Cubs a little bit more of a cushion with a big 2-out base hit.
I think teams are going to start doing what Ohlendorf did if Aramis doesn't get it together. That is simply work around Derek Lee. And even when Derek was in good stretches, no teams would work around anybody in the Cubs lineup to get to Aramis Ramirez in an RBI spot. But why wouldn't you when you look at the numbers? He is down to 164 on the season.
And really hasn't had any kind of a spike. I mean, even when a guy's struggling and hitting 160, you look back over the last 2 months and you'd say, well, there was that 1 week where he really started to turn it on, but we haven't had more than a game or two where it looked like Aramis was starting to come around.
Just foul. Sometimes you need a little luck too.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt anything. Just a little bit out in front of that off-speed pitch from Ohlendorf. And you can see from Ramirez's reaction the frustration. We do finally hit a ball hard, and it just goes foul down that third baseline.
I hope this makes sense what I'm going to say. It's not easy to hit 300, 320, whatever. I think it's harder to hit 166 mentally. Boy, you're going great. You know, they talk about how you respond to adversity. This is probably, I don't think there's any question, the most difficult stretch of his life. My point is, Bob, you know, it sounds like it's really hard to hit 300. Well, it is. I think it's harder to go every day and hit 166, 160, 153. You got to look up at the big scoreboard every day.
Especially for a guy who's got a great track record. I mean, this has got to be uncharted territory for Aramis Ramirez to go this deep into the season and not to start to see some results.
Swing and a miss to end the inning. We'll have a moment of silence coming up here on Memorial Day. It is 1-0 Cubs midway in the fifth.
Hey, baseball fan, need a fix? Get the Cubs and Sox download.
There's a swing and a drive, deep right center. Yeah!
At WGNAmerica.com for the full lineup of scores, stats, trivia, and more.
Introducing Bud Light Lime in cans. The great taste of Bud Light Lime now goes wherever you need it to. Only the superior taste of Bud Light Lime with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor puts you in the summer state of mind. One taste and you'll find the summer state of mind. Bud Light Lime.
This is Stephen. A busy man kept to a busy schedule. His day starts with this arthritis pain. That's breakfast with 2 pills. The morning is over, it's time for 2 more pills. The day marches on, back to sore hands, back to more pills, and when he's finally home. But hang on, just 2 Aleve can keep arthritis pain away all day with fewer pills than Tylenol. This is Stephen, who chose Aleve and fewer pills for a day free of pain.
At Cheez-It, we expect a lot from our cheese.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cheese.
Interrupting?
Cheese!
Should have seen that one coming.
You should have, because that was... I even told you I was going to be interrupting you. Morning, sir. Beautiful day, isn't it?
We take the time for our cheese to mature before we bake it into every delicious cracker. Because at Cheez-It, real cheese matters.
He's at exactly exactly 3 p.m. So all of Major League Baseball, its players, and its fans may participate in today's national moment of remembrance as one. We now ask you to please direct your attention to the video board.
On this day, for one brief moment, hear the silence fill the air. Think of those who walked beside us now no longer there. Make us humble, make us knowing, and accepting what is done on this day for all of woman. Make this nation
Thank you.
Nice Memorial Day tribute here in between innings. And now Randy Wells will get set for the bottom of the 5th. With his team leading 1-0. Bob, we've only seen 4 hits, not a whole lot of offense early on.
Yeah, I mean, Randy Wells has been pretty good against the Pirates offense in the early going. We mentioned it back as early as the first inning when he did miss the zone. He was missing in his favor and not by very much. Ohlendorf has made some mistakes over the heart of the plate. The Cubs hitters just have not been able to take full advantage.
Hey, Cub fans, sign up for a subscription to Vineline, the official monthly magazine of the Chicago Cubs. Vineline offers exclusive insider coverage and photography all year long. Visit the Vineline blog at Cubs.com for extra content and order today. Well, we cover the team every day, and I think you and I both learned something new in each edition of Vineline.
Well, just like we were talking a moment ago about Ohlendorf and his outside interests away from the game of baseball. The Vineline is a great place to get that kind of information about your favorite ball club.
So here we go. Bottom 5, 8, 9, and 1 for the Bucks. 1-0 on Ronnie Cedeno. Probably remember that I had mentioned the Brewers were ahead of Florida 4-0. Well, that's not the case anymore. Florida with 7 runs in the bottom of the 6th to take a 3-run lead, and they're still batting. So they knocked Chris Narveson out of there. Cody Ross with a 3-run homer as part of that big rally. Oakland and Detroit being delayed by rain. I don't think they've even started that one. Trevor Cahill and Justin Verlander, the scheduled pitchers. Yankees lead the Indians 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Mitch Talbot and Andy Pettit have gone all the way for their respective teams. Bird the grab, 1 out.
Susan Rook from Plainfield is today's hit the jackpot with Powerball contested. If the Cubs hit a home run in the next inning, Susan Rook will win 100 chances to win the Powerball jackpot. And Wednesday's jackpot is worth $260 million.
Cubs had a strange homestand when you talk about the run scoring in those 6 games. In their 3 wins, the opposition scored no runs and 3 shutouts. In their losses, the Cubs gave up an average of 8 runs per game. Called strike 3 to get the pitcher Ohlendorf. 2 down. 3 strikeouts for Wells. 2 have come against Ohlendorf. Angels got another walk-off home run yesterday. It was Howie Kendrick, and nobody got hurt. And they lead at Kansas City 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Meiser's Tourist, Juan Rivera with homers in support of Irvin Santana. Washington leading at Houston 4-1 in the bottom of the 3rd. Roy Oswalt went just 2 1/3, gave up 4 runs before getting taken out. A base hit rattled past Aramis Ramirez, and McCutchen keeps the 5th alive for the Pirates.
Well, apparently the reports say that McCutchen might attempt a bunt for a base hit. You see how shallow Ramirez is playing at third base, and McCutchen just slapped it right past him. I don't believe I've ever seen Andrew McCutchen bunt for a base hit, but apparently he has at some point because the Cubs had their third baseman drawn in.
Switch hitting Neil Walker.
That's a nice job by Randy Wells, just to hold that ball, hold, and then snap a throw to first base. Anything you can do to vary your rhythm in your delivery to home plate. Quick pitch on one, hold the ball on the next one, slide step on one pitch, use your big leg kick on another. It makes it so much tougher for that base stealer to read any kind of a move.
Well, you know McCutchen is itching to get into scoring position. And he faked towards second, put on the brakes. 1-1.
Kind of spun his wheels down there at first base a little bit. Went into his crossover step. About his second or third step, he lost a little bit of footing, decided he wasn't going to make it to second base, and hits the brakes with plenty of time to get back to first.
They've only had one runner in scoring position. That was McCutchen after the Walker 2-out hit in the 3rd. So they've only had one at bat with a runner in scoring position. Came up from AAA Indianapolis. He was hitting .321. And then he takes ball 3, 3-1. Made some headlines in early May when Walker was scolded by his AAA manager Frank Kremlis for not running out a pop-up and for the way he reacted to it in the dugout, but it seems like that was an isolated situation. Handled it the right way in the aftermath, and here he is. And he has his second hit of the day. And McCutchen on his way to third. Bird gets it back in quickly to keep Walker at first. So this is a mirror image of the 3rd inning. 2 quick outs, and then the top 2 in the order getting on. If Wells can get LaRoche, he can get out of this.
Another nice piece of hitting by Neil Walker. Really has that opposite field stroke locked in right now. Got a pitch up and out over the plate, and good hustling play by Marlon Byrd to get that ball quickly back into second base. Not so much to keep the double play in order because there's 2 outs in the inning, but it keeps that go-ahead run at first base rather than in scoring position at second base.
Trammell talks about it all the time with his infielders, just keeping the force play at second base. If you can give yourself another option with 2 outs, that's always a good thing. Randy's had to work pretty hard today. He's made it look relatively easy. A little bit of trouble with 2 outs here in the 5th. The pitch to Andy LaRoche, popped foul on the play. Andy, a former Dodger, younger brother of Adam, who's now in Arizona, and the son of former Cub left-handed pitcher Dave LaRoche.
Concern yourself with if you're the Cubs with LaRoche down 0-2 in the count here, 2 outs in the inning. Randy Wells may want to waste a pitch. Very important that Giovanni Soto blocks it. Also, the Pirates may try to pull out a trick play here, start the runner from first to second, have him stop and get caught in a run down and try to steal a run at home plate.
Walker not running. This is tapped toward third, foul. Back-to-back singles with 2 outs, and the Pirates have the tying run at third base. It's going to hold up for Kosuke as LaRoche lines out. The inning is over. They leave 2, and the Cubs still lead 1-0.
HealthKey.com, your new resource for a healthy body, mind, and spirit. Find answers to questions about surgery, heart disease, counting calories, handling depression after job loss, and so much more at HealthKey.com. The health answers you need to unlock your potential for life at HealthKey.com.
The Craftsman Cordless Multi-Tool. The power and versatility of 6 tools packed into one. More innovation, more great values. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
No matter what life throws at you, you can take the heat till it turns into heartburn. You've got what it takes. Zantac. It's strong, fast, lasting relief. So let them turn up the heat. You can stop that heartburn cold. Zantac.
Right now, when you stay 2 times with Quality or any Choice Hotel, you can feed a family of 4. Book now at choicehotels.com to start earning your $50 restaurant gift card.
Got to measure twice.
Hey, what's up? It's your TV. I unplugged your cable to show you something that'll blow your mind. DirecTV. With DirecTV, you can watch all your games at once. Watch basketball, hockey, tennis, whatever, all at the same time. 8 screens on your TV. It's like being at a sports bar, but you're not. You're on the couch, at home, in your tighties. Nice. Give them a call and check out that deal. DirecTV. It'll change your life.
Now Snapple's got healthy green tea, tasty black tea, real sugar. What's our slogan?
Best your stuff. Stuffy stuff.
Good stuff for bettering stuff.
Guys, the best stuff on earth just got better.
Good stuff, Greg. I'm okay with better.
We're dating.
Snapple, the best stuff on earth just got better.
Cubs looking to expand on what is a 1-0 lead. Randy Wells getting a pat on the back from his skipper, Lou Piniella. Looks like his afternoon may be done. We showed you his pitch count rapidly approaching 100 pitches at the 90 mark right now. And as Randy Wells went back to the dugout between innings, the Cubs had some guys milling around out there in the bullpen a little bit. We're not totally sure his afternoon is over, but it sure looks like it.
And even though he threw just 16 pitches on Friday, you don't want to push him too much under somewhat unusual circumstances. There's also the idea of making him feel good about this start. Out there by Ryan Church. Mike Fontenot's in disbelief. I think he thinks he has a single. Does he realize it's been caught? Now he does. That's a nice catch by Church, who never did have to leave his feet.
Well, carried a long way out there to left field. Mike Fontenot looked like he just flipped at that baseball, but Church able to catch it about ankle high, coming in there, reaching across his body. Time to take a look at our BMW drive of the game. Came back in the second inning. Alfonso Soriano with a drive deep to the Bermuda Triangle out there in left center. Pirates had some miscommunication. It dropped on the warning track, and Fonzie ended up with his second triple of the season. Only BMW offers ultimate service. Buy a BMW now and pay zero maintenance costs for 4 years or 50,000 miles, whichever comes first.
The 1-1. Driven out into left center. McCutchen on the move, and he makes the sliding grab. Well, their defense failed them earlier in the game, but they've made 2 excellent plays in this inning.
Oh, we have such a great vantage point up here from the press box high above PNC Field, and you can see what a great jump McCutchen got on that sinking line drive in the gap in left center. Man, can he run.
And with 2 outs, it's Soto. No pitch. Time was called before the pitch was delivered by Andy Fletcher.
Now, Ohlendorf has tried to work extremely quick, a couple times almost to the point of quick pitching some of the Cubs hitters. Mike Quaddy complained about it to Tim McClellan, the crew chief, when he came off the field after the second inning. And the Cubs hitters have tried to step out of the box on occasion to slow him down a little bit.
In front of home plate. 2-1. Chipper Jones with a home run today for the Braves. They lead Phillies 6-3 in the top of the 7th. Here it's 1-0 Cubs in the 6th. Pop up into shallow center. Walker will make the catch. Well, that was routine, but a couple of plays earlier in the inning, anything but. Church robbing Fontenot, and then Soriano had a hit taken away by McCutchen.
WGN America has something really big going on.
Right up here.
You can't miss it. The Dancin' Doubleheader today, only on WGN America.
Getting a bartender's attention is an art form where boldness is rewarded and the meat go thirsty. The waving of cash is considered unimaginative. There's the Vegas hit me, the charade technique, the prairie dog, the periscope, the third base coach. Some resort to phoning the bar, which has been known to backfire. But whatever your technique, tip well and enjoy the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
The Craftsman Hammerhead, the only auto hammer worthy of the Craftsman name. Engineered to drive home nails with the touch of a button. More innovation, more great values. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
There comes a time when you know you've got to make a change.
This is the new Domino's Pizza.
We improved everything. Sauce, cheese, crust, you name it. The deal is 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for $5.99 each. If you don't like it, we'll give you your money back.
All of it. Not half of it. All of it.
Okay, listen up. I'm here to get the lady of the house back on her feet. OJ, veggies, you're cool. Mayo, corn dogs, you are so out of here. Because I'm reworking the menu, keeping her healthy and you on your toes.
The complete balanced nutrition of Ensure with 24 vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, and omega-3s.
I see you, Cupcake. Ensure, nutrition in charge.
Welcome back as we check in on the Honda CR-V games summary. Randy Wells, a fourth Cubs starter over the last week, to exit the game with a shutout. Andrew McCutchen, 1 for 2 today. He's been on base twice, and he's 13 for 20 against the Cubs this season. Visit your Honda dealer. Test drive a 2010 Honda CR-V. Rookie left-hander James Russell has been getting more responsibility as the season has progressed. Still working in middle relief, but comes in with a 1-run lead in the 6th. Really like this move, getting Randy Wells out after 90 pitches and 5 shutout innings. It's a good spot to do it with the lefties coming up, although we're going to see a pinch hitter for Church after Garrett Jones.
It still forces John Russell to go to his bench and expend some of his extra players, but I agree with you. I think we talk all the time about a manager and to a lesser extent a pitching coach. You've got to look at the big picture, and right now one of the main goals for today's start for Randy Wells was to rebuild his confidence, and certainly he should feel good about his outing today.
Russell's 1-0. Now 2-0 on Garrett Jones. I think the key part of the graphic we showed you with our Honda game summary was that Wells got the first 2 in every inning. And I say that because Russell has started 2-0 on the leadoff man here in the 6th. And a high, deep fly ball, and just like that, they've tied it as Garrett Jones takes Russell up and out. And it's 1-1.
For Jones, this is the 2nd of his 6 home runs that have come against left-handed pitching. Looked like an off-speed pitch down and away from him. He got full extension. Very little doubt about that one.
Now Lastings Millage. Millage batting for Church, and he'll stay in and play left. Well, about the only thing worse than a leadoff walk is a leadoff home run.
But the only good thing you can say about it is there's nobody on base. James Russell still pitching from the windup. Don't have an opportunity to play hit and run or steal a base or put down a sac bunt, but that is about the only good thing you can say about it.
Millage went after that high heater and couldn't quite catch up to it. Just got a piece.
That's a home run swing at a letter high fastball. Very tough to get on top of that pitch. You've got to have a lightning quick top hand. If you try to use too much bottom hand, too much body, you're going to end up doing just what Millage did. Foul it straight back. Tell your teammates I was right on it. Johnny Soto trying to get his pitcher to keep the ball down. James Russell has missed up until those last couple of pitches, and Gio was banging his catcher's mitt on the dirt, telling his lefty to get it down here.
According to Baseball Reference, guy at the plate, the only major leaguer ever with a first name Lastings. And he makes it out as he flies out to Fukudome.
He may be the last Lastings.
Lastings, Darnell, Millage.
Although I know a lot of people name their children after their heroes on the baseball, football, or basketball fields, or hockey players. You know, somebody has a unique name and you're a fan of that team and you like that particular player. My physical therapist, when I was coming back from my knee replacement surgery, was named Ryan Foster after Ryan Sandberg.
Yeah, there was an article about that recently in the USA Today about all the kids who were born in the 80s and 90s and even today. R-Y-N-E.
His parents were big Cub fans, big Ryan Sandberg fans.
Lofted out into right center for Ryan Dolman, so he turned around to bat righty and picked up his first hit of the day. The move the Cubs made before the game, they brought up 6'6" right-hander Andrew Kashner, their first pick 2 years ago, and they put left-hander John Bravo on the disabled list with a sprained left knee. We very well could see Kashner make his major league debut today. Flew in here to Pittsburgh, got in about 11 o'clock this morning. Clement swings and misses on a good slider from James Russell. And Ryan Sandberg was named after somebody, and I think it was Ryan Duran. R-Y-N-E. Not sure who he was named after, as Fontenot throws to Derek Lee. I know one thing, Bob, you can trace the name Adam back to one particular person. That's about it. That's about the only thing I know.
Nice.
Here comes Lou with Cedeno due up. Right-hander Jeff Stevens is available if Lou wants to make a move, and according to Jeff, he does. Here comes Stevens in a 1-1 tie.
A hand tool so advanced, it eliminates I can't from your vocabulary. The Craftsman Pivoting Elbow Wrench, going where traditional wrenches never could. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
It basically took me the whole summer. And I don't know how many times I needed to go to AutoZone, but at least now when I go, it's not on my bike.
No matter what life throws at you, you can take the heat till it turns into heartburn. You've got what it takes. Zantac. It's strong, fast, lasting relief. So let them turn up the heat. You can stop that heartburn cold. Zantac.
Don't like to settle? Now that any pizza at Pizza Hut is just $10, you don't have to. Any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings is just $10. All your favorite pizzas, any way you want them, just $10. Only at your Pizza Hut.
WWE Superstars, Thursdays at 80s 5 West, a WGN America original.
There's right-hander Jeff Stevens, done a nice job in a handful of games since coming up from the minor leagues.
Vanilla went with reversal for that string of left-handed hitters, and the switch hitter Ryan Doman now goes to the right-hander Stevens for Ronnie Cedeno. Well, the numbers would say maybe this is an unnecessary pitching change. Cedeno hitting only .250 against lefties this year with no home runs, .264 with all 4 of his homers against right-handed pitching.
Stevens made his debut last year, but still considered technically a rookie. You see Ryan Doman bottom right. He represents a go-ahead run as that sprayed foul by Cedeno. Stevens got called up from AAA Iowa 12 days ago. Had a .260 ERA and a dozen appearances out of the I-Cubs pen. That's a pitch he's worked on a lot. The slider used to be four-seam fastball, curveball exclusively.
Well, number one, it's a harder breaking pitch. The curveball usually sits in the low to mid 70s, kind of rolls up to the plate from time to time. Well, the slider is a pitch that kind of falls in between the curveball and the fastball. That last one at 85 with movement away from the right-handed hitter.
Here's Evan Meek up just in case Cedeno reaches and John Russell wants to pinch hit for Ohlendorf, who's on deck. A fly ball to right. Kosuke tracking, coming over and not going to have room. It's out of play.
The wind that we had earlier in the ball game that appeared to be blowing from right to left field has pretty much died completely. The flag's barely moving here at PNC Park. To ask the guys, I don't know. I've never heard anybody say that the wind really affects the play down at field level here. It traditionally comes, would that be up or down the river?
Don't ask me.
I don't know. It goes that way.
Called strike 3 to end the inning. They tie it on the leadoff homer by Jones, but it's 1-1 after 6. Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Submit your idea at refresheverything.com.
CC looks a bit rattled out there, and Dave Island is coming out for a visit.
Dave, I think we should put an organic garden in that bullpen.
I think we should organize a group hug for all of New York.
Mobile classrooms, that was your idea, wasn't it?
How about a pizza party for all of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Senior prom for senior citizens. I don't know about that one.
Pepsi's spending millions to fund refreshing ideas. Vote for ideas you care about at refresheverything.com.
See that girl in the stands? She got some great ideas.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does Elmer Fudd have trouble with the letter R?
Shh, be very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
Okay, cut. I'm hunting rabbits, Elmer. Let's try that again.
Shh, I'm hunting rabbits.
Cut. Rabbits.
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 Rabbits with an R.
Oh, this director's starting to rub me the wrong way.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
It basically took me the whole summer. And I don't know how many times I needed to go to AutoZone, but at least now when I go, it's not on my bike.
Hey, Cub fans, if you want to manage a game along with Lou Piniella, log on to WGNTV.com right now and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio, play sets, hot tubs, and more.
Millage stays in and plays left. And Ohlendorf will get 3 more outs maximum as his spot due to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Starlin Castro leading it off. The on-deck circle currently empty. I saw Xavier Nady At the home plate end of the Cubs dugout, looked like he was ready to hit. It might depend on whether Castro reaches or not. You see Ryan Theriot also has a bat. And in the worst decoy in the history of ever, Jeff Stevens is now in the on-deck circle.
The history of ever.
I'm guessing that's not a Jeff Stevens model bat. A fly to right for Garrett Jones. Stevens still stretching out, looking good.
Yeah.
Nice job, Jeff.
Almost made John Russell make a pitching change there.
Here's a former Pirate, Xavier Nady.
He gets a nice round of applause here in Pittsburgh. They remember his days as a bucko. His numbers here at PNC Park. In 137 games as a pinch hitter this year, 3 for 14 with a homer and 5 driven in.
It's a new role for him, something he hadn't done a whole lot in his career. Had a stretch here recently during which he played a lot. On Xavier Nady. Slightly open stance. He swings and misses. One of the longer swings in the majors. Doman will pick it up. Get a good angle on the throw. 2 outs. Visit the official online shop of the Cubs at Cubs.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the Cubs.com shop. Accept no substitutes. You know, when you come to Pittsburgh, you would expect to see some Roberto Clemente jerseys, maybe a Willie Stargell, maybe a Barry Bonds rookie jersey from the mid-'80s. Well, right in front of our booth, there's a gentleman with a Road Ross Ollendorf jersey. So he's a fan.
Nice to have Mr. Ollendorf here at the ball game today. Yeah, it's not the kind of thing that they would probably have available at the team shop. You'd have to have that specially made.
Called strike on Kosuke. 2-1. Cub fans, I mean, it's a long list of Cub greats and current Cubs. So you'll see jerseys scattered throughout Wrigley Field. Bob Howry and Sean Marshall are up. I saw a Larry Rothschild jersey. I think it was last year. So a little love for the pitching coach. A fly ball to left. Millage playing way over toward the gap. Still going after it, and he gets there. Well, I think that's why they really pinch the gaps, because they have guys with speed who can cut off a fly ball down the line. 1-1 as we stretch.
We watch baseball. We watch baseball. We watch baseball. We watch baseball on America's WGN.
Friday on WGN America, Soto, Soriano, and the Cubs are back in Texas. Friday at 7:30 East on WGN America.
Among guys, Budweiser has become a kind of currency. Helping a friend move gets you a 6-pack. Up 3 flights? That's more. Dog sitting for the weekend? Well, that depends on the dog. Riding in the middle seat has its own benefits. The last wing is worth one. The celery's worthless. Flying blind into a double date for your buddy earns you a case. Though, on occasion, you may owe him. So pay up with the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
Where do denture wearers get the confidence to be their effervescent selves? From Efferdent. Efferdent's powerful effervescence cleans dentures even in hard-to-reach places and kills odor-causing bacteria. Efferdent. And try zinc-free Effergrip adhesive.
Happy 25th birthday, Blizzard! Check it out! Every party needs a clown, right?
I didn't have a clown at my birthday. Me neither.
Sorry, turning 9 does not compare with being the world's greatest treat for 25 years, okay?
Clowns are earned, kids.
We are.
Celebrate the Blizzard's 25th with the Strawberry Golden Oreo Blizzard with Golden Oreo cookies and strawberries. Then follow the party tour at DQ.com.
Mayo's always saying how real it is. We agree. It's real. Boring. Are you up for some sandwich kick and flavor? Are you Miracle Whip?
Welcome back. Memorial Day Cubs action here on WGN. 1-1 our score. Cubs got their run on an RBI ground out by Giovanni Soto in the second. And the Pirates tied it as Garrett Jones hit a leadoff homer in the sixth off James Russell. Veteran righty Bob Howry in his second tour of duty as a member of the Cubs, trying to preserve this 1-1 tie. He'll face pinch hitter Aki Iwamura, who's batting for Ollendorf. Getting on Iwamura here in Pittsburgh, he recently went through an 0 for 34. Makes me a little nervous. He's 0 for 17 against the Cubs this season. He had been in that leadoff spot, but just couldn't get on base enough. So he's out of the lineup right now, pinch hitting, and we'll go 3-1. Don't miss the action as the Cubs battle the White Sox on Thursday, June 11th. Game time, a 1:20. But be sure to arrive early. Here's McCutchen. Slider strike. McCutchen laid off that slider, 2-1.
I'd like to say hello to the Daytona Cubs. They have the day off today. I know a number of them are dialed into WGN TV today to watch a Cubs battle here against the Pirates on Memorial Day. Good luck the rest of the way, guys.
Nice going. Trey McNutt got the win yesterday to improve to 4-0 for the Peoria Chiefs. Casey Coleman pitching well at AAA Iowa has a .332 earned run average. Brian Schlitter with 5 saves. And you mentioned Daytona, recently a 7-game winning streak. Ryan Flaherty has a 13-game hitting streak. McCutchen pops up. Derek Lee underneath. 2 away. As we say every time we come here, the padded railing in the dugout just at the perfect height to rest your chin.
Well, I know from experience, you walk by that lineup card 1,000 times a game, and every time you look at it, sometimes you wish the names maybe would change a little bit, but that's what you got to work with.
Outside to Walker.
Always trying to look ahead to the next inning, maybe 2-3 innings down the road. Watch how the lineup rolls around. Make sure you have the appropriate bench players ready and the appropriate relief pitchers ready when the situation arises.
Outside to Walker. Well, if you work away on him, he'll take it the other way. We've seen it already twice today. He should be 3 for 3. He was robbed of a hit by Kosuke Fukudome in the second. Soriano coming over. Not much room and foul ground there, and it looked like a fan made the catch. Right at the railing. I think Alfonso had a shot at it.
I think you're right. He probably did have a shot at it, but the ball is on the fan side of the railing. So really no recourse right there. If the fan reached out onto the field of play to make the play, then the umpire could have called Walker out.
Yeah, you're right. It was in the stands. Soriano would have had to reach in. 2-1 on Walker. He became available after being cut by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Bob made no excuses. And the Cubs are hoping he can get back to the guy he has been for the most part over the last few years. Had a decent season with San Francisco last year.
Trying to vary his pitches a little bit more than he had in the past. Started to throw a few more sliders, a few more straight changeups. Started to throw his fastball on both sides of the plate rather than just paint that outside corner consistently the way he has done for so long in his career.
High fly and well hit. Soriano right in front of the warning track. Walker's had a really good day. He's 2 for 4. Makes a loud out. We'll head off to the 8th. 1-1.
Dear PlayStation, I'm going against Steve on this Mod Nation Racers track I made. He's pretty good.
Man up, Twitchy. This is your house. You created this track, made these shortcuts. The whole PlayStation Network's scared of your squish block things.
Yeah.
This track's a part of you. Like an undersized jockstrap.
Yeah.
Some Steve's gonna defile it like a junkyard sofa? Wrong! Wrong is so right, it's wrong, right?
I think so.
No, you know so.
Mod Nation Racers, rated E for everyone.
PlayStation. So rich and
Hola, amigo. It's me, your TV. Just pulled the plug on your cable to show you something sweet. With DirecTV, get a DVR that stores twice as many shows as cable. So load it up. Sports, soaps, absolutely. Reality show marathon, not my thing, but cool. Lots of movies, why not? You got the room. Stop limiting yourself. Give them a call and check out that deal. DirecTV, it'll change your life.
What you did at this morning's meeting, that was pure poetry.
Stop it.
Hello, you spotted $1 million accounting error that no one else noticed.
That was pretty sweet.
But you did have 8 layers of sweet, crunchy backup.
What can I say? You're the man. Or the little dude.
That's me.
Stay on your game by stopping mid-morning hunger with Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheat Cereal. An excellent source of fiber from 100% whole grain that helps you stay full so you can stay focused.
He's a little focused right now. Can I take a message?
One a day VitaCraves, a complete adult multivitamin in a gummy to support energy, immunity, and your inner child. One-a-day Vitacraves, multivitamin gummies for grown-ups.
We love baseball and America's WGN.
We hope you're having a great Memorial Day. You are watching Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN, your official summer baseball station. And we are tied because of Garrett Jones' leadoff home run in the 6th inning off left-hander James Russell. So a nail-biter here in Pittsburgh, and right-hander Evan Meek is on to work.
Outstanding numbers for Meek. One of 2 hard throwers along with Hanrahan leading up to Octavio Dotel, the closer. Meek throws extremely hard.
He has the best ERA in the majors among all relievers with at least 23 innings. 0.92. The kick, the 1-0. Well, let's try take 2.
Yeah, lost his footing there as he pivoted and went to step down in that hole in front of the rubber. He caught a cleat on the rubber and decided rather than let it go, just restart. Whoops.
Fouled back by Bird. 96 on the gun, and that pitch 1-1.
Well, the thing about Meek is there's a term they use. He throws easy gas. It doesn't look like he's really throwing with a lot of effort out there on the mound, but his mechanics are so good. His release point is so good out in front. The ball just seems to explode out of his hand.
But Marlon Byrd did something not a lot of batters would do, and that is completely hang in there against that breaking pitch. Tried to hit the front door, the inside corner. A lot of guys would have bailed out, but Marlon Byrd's not afraid to get hit by a breaking ball.
Or a fastball, for that matter.
Yeah. That's a total mindset, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you hear pitchers talk about controlling the inside part of the plate. Well, Marlon Byrd feels he should control the inside corner of the plate. He doesn't give an inch. Well, that's a good note.
The 3-1 to Bird inside. He'll take the leadoff walk gladly.
The reason I say that's a good note is because usually when we say, oh, this guy hasn't homered against the lefty all year. Yeah, next pitch against the lefty is knocked into the river. One down that left field corner. Let's watch Marlon Byrd run the bases.
Well, they give Derek all kinds of room in left.
And I know this is something the Pirates do consistently against all their opponents, but I'll tell you what, you really have to pitch to your defense if you're going to overshift that much in the outfield. Right now, Evan Meek can't really afford to throw an off-speed pitch to Derek Lee, especially over the plate where he might get out in front and pull it down into that left field corner. You see this kind of defense, you kind of assume as a hitter you're going to get a lot of hard stuff away.
Final in Florida, the Marlins pulled away late, clubbed the Brewers 13-5. Seven in the 6th, 4 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. There goes Bird, called strike, throw to second's going to be late. Good job by Marlin not to overslide the bag. He's a perfect 4 for 4 on the year.
Well, until he shows he can throw somebody out, I think this is what you need to do against Ryan Domit and the Pirates. Every opportunity you get with even average base runners on at first. Really takes a long time to wind up and unleash his throw to second base, and that allows that base runner a couple of extra steps, and usually that's the difference in a stolen base at second base.
Cubs picking up their 23rd steal of the year. And a 1-2 to Lee, swing and a miss on a slider. So one away, it'll bring up Aramis.
If a guy that throws 96, 97 can get that slider anywhere near that outside corner at the plate, you're going to see a lot of swings and misses just like that. Hitters tend to start the bat just a little bit early against the fastball, and you become so susceptible to that breaking pitch.
Ramirez is 0 for 3, struck out twice against the starter Ohlendorf. Finally underway in Detroit. Oakland with 2 in the first off Justin Verlander. So 2-0 A's in the bottom of the first. Seems like it's raining all around the Midwest today. Raining back home in Chicago today. Yankees are pounding the Indians 11-1 in the 8th. They've scored 9 over the last 2 innings. The 1-0 pitch, ground ball right side, picked up by Walker. 2 outs. So Meek can decide if he wants to attack Fontenot or face Soriano instead, with a couple of bases open, and Bird now at third base.
Millage in left field might be playing Mike Fondo a little too shallow out there in left. We know Mike has gotten a number of his hits to the opposite field this year and has pretty good opposite field power. Millage is playing as if there was a pitcher at the plate or something. I don't think I've ever seen a big league left fielder play that shallow for a position player. Moving back a couple of steps now, but we know Mike's got enough power to hit one over his head out there in left.
The Pirates, a very interesting team to watch defensively in the way they align their outfield. Toward third, backhanded fair ball, throw to first. They got him. Wow, Andy LaRoche saving the go-ahead run, just getting Mike Fontenot on an off-balance throw. You can't do it much better than this. Bottom 8, still 1-1.
Why is it that the good patients always die and the pains in the ass just go on and on?
Yeah. Why is that?
This Father's Day, show Dad you care. Visit Overstock.com for name brand products at up to 70% off every day. You'll find gifts for every dad. Let Overstock.com show you what you're looking for, and your entire order ships for just $2.95. Overstock.com, at home with the O.
1 in 4 women is at risk for osteoporosis, and it's not always easy to get the calcium we need from our diet to help reduce that risk. Fortunately, there's Caltrate, As we get older, our bodies steal calcium from our bones. Caltrate helps replenish the calcium we lose with 1,200 milligrams of calcium plus advanced levels of vitamin D to help reduce your risk of osteoporosis. It's never too early or too late for Caltrate. And now big news. The same Caltrate comes in a new smaller, easy-to-swallow pill.
We have a pretty big family. All boys.
I call them our starting five.
Yeah. So when we go out, like the other night, we have to make sure they get enough to eat.
Pass these down to your brothers and make sure they get some, okay?
Olive Garden introduces our new crust bellies. Handcrafted Italian crepes, oven-baked and stuffed with 5 cheeses, then topped with herb-marinated chicken in a garlic cream sauce, or with grilled Italian sausage in our tomato Alfredo, starting at just $10.95 with unlimited salad and breadsticks.
Olive Garden's one of the few places we can take our family where everyone's happy.
Olive Garden, when you're here, your family.
Heartbreak for the Cubs as Andy LaRoche made a potential game-saving play to keep the game tied at 1.
That's as nice a play as you'll ever see a third baseman make. Backhanding that ball, throwing across his body all the way across the diamond. Just in time to get Mike Fontenot reaching for that base.
Bang, bang at first, but Tim McClellan got it right. So Sean Marshall could get his 6th win in May on the final day of the month. 5-1. He's 5-0 here in May. 1-0 on LaRoche. Ground ball. Ramirez picks it up. Lots of time.
It goes without saying it's important to keep the leadoff man off the bags in a tie ball game late. Really limits the options for John Russell should the number 2 or number 3 guy in the inning get on base. But when you get that leadoff man on, you can do a number of things. Hopefully not what Garrett Jones did his last time up in the 6th inning against James Russell. Went down and golfed an off-speed pitch into the bleachers in right field to tie it.
And he pulls this one down the right field line, and it's a fair ball. Rattling around in the corner. Jones stops at second. Well, the lefties haven't bothered him a bit. It's not what his season numbers would tell you.
We were talking about how Marlon Byrd hangs in there and protects that inside part of the plate. Garrett Jones against the lefty, not afraid to hang in there against the breaking pitches. And Sean Marshall kept him in the ballpark with that double down into the right field corner.
So the Pirates have a couple of cracks at getting their first lead of the day. Millage and Doman. Millage as a pinch hitter, flying to right in the 6th as the closer Dotel cranks it up. Inside 2-0.
Wouldn't surprise me to see Sean Marshall throw a breaking pitch in this count. A walk is not the worst thing that could happen right here with first base open. It's a call on the outside corner there with Ryan Doman in the on deck circle, a switch hitter who will come to the plate as a right-handed hitter against Sean Marshall, but not the fleetest of foot of the Pirates. He's grounded into 4 double plays this season. Hey, you get late in a 1-run ball game or a tie ball game, you start looking at those open bases and thinking about the percentages and creating opportunities for your defense to possibly make a play and get out of an inning as quickly as possible.
One hopper to Ramirez, who looks back. Jones, the throw off the base, but Derek applying the tag.
Now I would assume we'll see an intentional walk here to Doman. To get Clement, the left-handed hitter, to the plate against Sean Marshall, but we'll see how they play it.
And they will intentionally walk Doman.
talk all the time about the percentages in this game, and you put this runner on right here. It sets up a force play at any base on the infield. If there happens to be one of those tweeners, a ball hit where you can't make the play at first base, but you might be able to get the force play at third or second. So that plays into your advantage. Obviously, the lefty on lefty matchup, although that's going to go by the boards, as John Russell's going to send up a right-handed pinch hitter, Bobby Crosby, to hit for Clement.
It's going to be Bobby Crosby for Clement.
Doesn't always work out, Len, but I think, you look at the numbers, you look at the percentages, you say what best works to our advantage in each individual situation.
So it's the versatile Bobby Crosby pinch hitting. He's played all 4 infield spots. He's trying to come up with a big hit. Jones, bottom of your screen, stretching out his legs in case he has to try to beat a throw from the outfield. Here we go. In the dirt, blocked neatly by Soto.
Only one previous encounter between Sean Marshall and Bobby Crosby, and Sean got the better of it. He struck out the Pirates' right-handed pinch hitter.
Right down Main Street. 1-1. Warm and muggy afternoon here in Pittsburgh. Saw some rain early. Very pleasant conditions right now. Outside as Soto had to stab at that pitch. 2-1. There's Cashner along with Tom Gorzolani, couple of newcomers to the Cubs bullpen. Cashner from AAA and Gorzolani from the starting rotation. 3-1. Cedeno waiting on deck. A single here certainly will give the Pirates a lead because Jones will get a head start. Tapped foul. Another payoff pitch and a base hit, and the Pirates have their first lead of the game. A pinch hit, RBI single by Bobby Crosby, and it's 2-1 Pirates.
That's a swing by Bobby Crosby that's designed to hit the ball somewhere to the middle of the field. He got all his weight out on his front foot, but he did keep his hands back. Poked that ball into shallow center field for an RBI base hit.
And Bob, a very key component in that sequence was that it came on a 3-2 pitch. If Jones doesn't get that head start, I think Marlon Byrd has a shot.
I think you're right. And Jones didn't get a great jump as it was, but it was just enough. 3 or 4 steps off the bag at second there, and no chance for Marlon Byrd at home.
We're going to see a double switch as Terrio will come in, and we're going to see the major league debut of Andrew Cashner. So we will sort it out when we come back. 2-1 Pirates in the 8th.
Among guys, Budweiser has become a kind of currency.
Helping a friend move gets you a six-pack. Up 3 flights? That's more. Dog sitting for the weekend? Well, that depends on the dog. Riding in the middle seat has its own benefits. The last wing is worth 1. The celery's worthless. Flying blind into a double date for your buddy earns you a case. Though, on occasion, you may owe him. So pay up with the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
It basically took me the whole summer. And I don't know how many times I needed to go to AutoZone, but at least now when I go, it's not on my bike.
My most memorable experiences were my Little League days.
We were called the Rockets, the Oyster River Bobcats,
Lloyd's Reynolds.
There's nothing like the adrenaline you get as a young kid just kind of competing at that early age.
If I went pitching, I was catching. If I went catching, I was playing shortstop.
That's when I first learned to throw my big 12-6 curveball.
We'd play whenever we had any free moment.
Every kid dreams about playing Major League Baseball. I remember that it's like it was yesterday.
Changes for the Cubs. Ryan Theriot is in to play second. Mike Fontenot goes from second to third as he chats with rookie Starlin Castro. So Ramirez is out. And this is the Major League debut of right-hander Andrew Kashner. Was a terrific closer at Texas Christian. Started to begin the year and eventually went into the bullpen in the minors. And here he is. His contract was selected. That's how he got here to the majors. 19th overall pick back in 2008. Just 43 minor league appearances before his debut. Started the year at Double-A Tennessee and then went up to Iowa on May 7th. We liked what we saw from him in spring training.
Yeah, he had some issues from time to time with his control, but he has swing and miss stuff. Good fastball, good sharp late breaking slider. He's got that closer mentality, even though the Cubs had him starting for a while in the minor leagues. I think you heard Jim Hendry talking about it earlier. They feel he could go either way, either as a tail end of the bullpen guy or possibly a top of the rotation guy, and I think depending on the makeup of the rest of the pitching staff, that will determine where Kashner ultimately ends up.
6'6", 210. Born in Conroe, Texas. And he's trying to get the third out here in the 8th with the Cubs now trailing for the first time. Ronnie Cedeno pops it up, so
game's
Kashner's debut. 1 pitch and 1 out. Well, we'll go to the 9th. Last chance now for the Cubs, trailing.
Charlie Thomas, Scott Schroyer, and Bill Johnson. 3 real guys who still hadn't tried Domino's inspired new pizza with new sauce, crust, and cheese. So, in March of 2010, Domino's created personalized ad campaigns for each of them. Then we set up dozens of hidden cameras to capture their reactions.
This is crazy.
But did it work?
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
I love it.
Now get 2 medium, 2-topping inspired new pizzas for just $5.99 each. Know a holdout? Tell us at pizzaholdouts.com and you could win free pizza for a year.
Okay, listen up. I'm here to get the lady of the house back on her feet. OJ, veggies, you're cool. Mayo, corn dogs, you are so out of here. Because I'm reworking the menu, keeping her healthy and you on your toes.
The complete balanced nutrition of Ensure with 24 vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, and omega-3s.
I see you, Cupcake. Ensure, nutrition in charge.
Sometimes the biggest innovations are in the smallest details. The Craftsman ratcheting open-end wrench. Spring-loaded tooth design, fastening with ease. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Coppertone Sport outshines. It protects you from the most damaging rays across 100% of the UVA-UVB spectrum, and the protection stays on better because it's ultra sweat-proof. Coppertone Sport outshines, so you can enjoy the sun.
Think yours is the most beautiful baby? Prove it, and you could win $5,000 in the Beautiful Babies contest. It's free and open to babies 3 to 48 months at WGNAmerica.com.
Well, Bobby Crosby right now is the Pirates hero, coming off the bench and smacking an RBI single into center off Sean Marshall to make it 2-1 Pirates. And Octavio Dotel will try to notch the save and give his bullpen mate Evan Meek the win. High ERA, but he's 10 for 12 in save chances. Dotel with 3 of his saves against the Cubs. 4 innings on the year. And no earned runs allowed. Well, it seems like we do this a lot, Bob, as Soriano takes ball 1. We're going to see Tyler Colvin next for Giovanni Soto, but you tend now to go back and look at all the chances the Cubs missed. Swing and a miss. The 3rd inning, leading 1-0. They had 2 on with no outs, and the 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up, not only did they not score, they didn't get Randy Wells off of second base. And that goes directly back to Jim Hendry's comment on the leadoff man, getting that big hit to bust one open. That has been severely lacking in a lot of these close losses. 3-1.
And it's most obvious on the scoreboard, but when you look at this Pirates ball club, I mean, obviously they're not intimidated by the Cubs anymore the way they played against Chicago this year, but you allow them to wiggle off the hook like that, and it just builds their confidence. They feel even better about their chances, and momentum shifts from dugout to dugout.
Three and 2 on Soriano. The kick and the pitch just staying alive. The paid crowd today 20,235. Nobody's left. He struck him out, so Dotel was in danger of walking the leadoff man, but he came back and fanned to Soriano, 1 away.
Soriano chased a pitch up and out of the strike zone, maybe even inside out of the strike zone.
Seeing a little bit of the Cubs present and a lot of their future in this game. Starlin Castro, now Tyler Colvin, and we just saw the major league debut of Andrew Kashner. Yeah, Randy Wells, early on in his major league career, started this one, went 5 shutout innings. Unfortunately, we'll get a no decision. Colvin's been hot, limited duty, busted his bat, still up there, and Jones will get it waist high for the catch. Thought that the broken bat might make that ball drop in front of Jones.
It looked like Jones got a little bit of a late start out there in right field, but made up for it. He's not known for his defensive prowess out there, but that was a pretty nice running catch on a ball that was dying quickly out in right center.
Cubs are 1 out away from dropping to 1-6 against a team that's currently 11 games under 500. It's up to Castro to keep it going. He flares it out into right, and this ball will He'll drop. It's fair. And Starlin can't take a chance. Going to have to hold with a single. So a flare down the right field line, and it'll bring up Ryan Theriot for the first time.
Jam shot feathered out there in right field. Right into no man's land. Jones couldn't get there, nor could Bobby Crosby from his first base position. Jones scooped that ball and got it quickly to second base. Castro had taken a big turnaround first because there was no defender there. Usually the catcher trails the runner down the first baseline just in case there's a play exactly like that.
Fouled off by Theriot. Average down to 286 as he's gone through a slump, and that put him on the bench today until the 8th inning when he came in to play second. 0-2. Emergency swing very late. There goes Castro's swing and the miss. Pirates win. 2 strikeouts in the 9th for Dotel. He saves it for Meek, and the Pirates take game 1 of this series 2-1.
HealthKey.com, your new resource for a healthy body, mind, and spirit. Find answers to questions about surgery, heart disease, counting calories, handling depression after job loss, and so much more at HealthKey.com. The health answers you need to unlock your potential for life at HealthKey.com.
Hey, you at the computer. Want to see more Winslow? Nighty Watchman? Or WWE Divas? You ain't gonna find them there. Psst, over here. It's the new WGNAmerica.com. Trivia? Bing! Hot photos? Bang! Viral videos? Boom! Shakalaka! Give your mouse a workout and get clicking at WGNAmerica.com.
It can be tough living with COPD, but I try not to let it slow me down. I go down to the pool for a swim, get out and dance, even play a little hide and seek. I'm breathing better with Spiriva.
Spiriva is the only once-daily inhaled maintenance treatment for both forms of COPD, which includes chronic bronchitis and emphysema.
I take it every day. It keeps my airways open to help me breathe better all day long, and it's not a steroid.
Spiriva does not replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms. Stop taking Spiriva and call your doctor right away if your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, have vision changes or eye pain, or have problems passing urine. Tell your doctor if you have glaucoma, problems passing urine, or an enlarged prostate, as these may worsen with Spiriva. Also discuss the medicines you take, even eye drops. Side effects include dry mouth, constipation, and trouble passing urine.
Every day could be a good day to breathe better.
Ask your doctor if once daily Spiriva is right for you.
It's understood that if you get up to get a Budweiser, you come back with a round. How you carry that round is a matter of personal preference. There's the 6-pack Strangler, the St. Bernard, the Flock of Geese, the Marsupial, the Sherpa, the Claw, even the more advanced Labrador Retriever. But we always come back with a beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
Give yourself an edge. New One-A-Day Men's Pro Edge. A complete multivitamin with more magnesium to help support healthy muscle function. More B vitamins to help convert food to fuel. More confidence in a healthy you. New One-A-Day Men's Pro Edge.
So rich.
Hola, amigo. It's me, your TV. Just pulled the plug on your cable to show you something sweet. With DirecTV, get a DVR that stores twice as many shows as cable. So load it up. Sports, soaps, absolutely. Reality show marathon, not my thing, but cool. Lots of movies, why not? You got the room. Stop limiting yourself. Give them a call and check out that deal. DirecTV, it'll change your life.
At Cheez-It, we expect a lot from our cheese.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cheese.
Interrupting?
Cheese!
Should have seen that one coming.
You should have, because that was... I even told you I was going to be interrupting you. Morning, sir. Beautiful day, isn't it?
We take the time for our cheese to mature before we bake it into every delicious cracker. Because at Cheez-It, real cheese matters.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles with 2 different gels for softness and support are outrageously comfortable.
I'd rather walk anyway.
Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
Chicago Cubs baseball has been brought to you by Budweiser. With full flavor and a crisp, clean finish, it's what we do. By Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Submit your idea at refresheverything.com. And by the Illinois Lottery. Mega Millions can find you twice a week. Tuesday and Friday jackpots start at $12 million. 2-1, the Pirates win it and come from behind fashion. The Budweiser play of the game-winning hit in the 8th off the bench. Bobby Crosby with an RBI single scoring Garrett Jones. Jones scored their 2 runs. That made the Pirates a 2-1 winner. Budweiser with full flavor and a crisp finish. It's what we do. Stay tuned. The Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show is next.
Well, hey, glad I caught you. I was on my way to present ideas about all the discounts we're offering. I've got some catchphrases that'll make these savings even more memorable.
All right. Good driver discounts. Now that's the stuff.
How about this?
They're the bee's knees.
Why this?
Sir, how about just 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance?
Yeah. Good luck with that catching on.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I just wanted to look around. So I went on Ancestry.com to see if I could find my great-grandfather. It was unbelievable. I found all kinds of historical documents, including a census record that showed that he was the town's only doctor. It's funny, no one ever told me that.
Visit Ancestry.com and discover the world's largest online family history resource.
You really don't have to know what you're looking for. You just have to start looking.
Your discovery starts right now on Ancestry.com.
Nice finger. A wart could get used to this. Liquid wart remover. That's all you got? That could take weeks to treat me.
Did it get cold? Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away removes warts fast with as little as 1 treatment.
You'll miss me.
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away.
Sometimes the tool with the most power isn't a power tool at all. The Craftsman Cross-Force Wrench, uniquely designed to deliver greater torque with every turn. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Think yours is the most beautiful baby? Prove it, and you could win $5,000 in the Beautiful Babies contest. It's free and open to babies 3 to 48 months at WGNAmerica.com.
Welcome to the Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show. For so long, the Cubs dominated the Pirates, but they have not been able to solve John Russell's club this season. They dropped a 1-6 against the Pirates as they lose a nail-biter 2-1. The Pirates getting the winning run in the 8th. Meek the winner, Marshall the loser. Dotel with his 11 save, 4 of which have come against the Cubs. We'll have more from Pittsburgh. The final today, the Pirates 2, the Cubs 1. The Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show is brought to you in part by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. And by Culver's, home of the Butterburger and fresh frozen custard.
There comes a time when you know you've got to make a change.
This is the new Domino's Pizza.
We improved everything. Sauce, cheese, crust, you name it. The deal is 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for $5.99 each. If you don't like it, we'll give you your money back.
All of it. Not half of it. All of it.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles with 2 different gels for softness and support are outrageously comfortable.
I'd rather walk anyway.
Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
Sometimes the biggest innovations are in the smallest details. The Craftsman ratcheting open-end wrench. Spring-loaded tooth design. Fastening with ease. Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
We're in the mood for baby back ribs for dinner tonight. Who's got them? And we're hungry, so it's got to be all you can eat.
On an endless dinner buffet, and all for around $10.
Thanks for dropping by.
Golden Corral is the first ever to offer up all the mouth-watering baby back ribs you want. Fall off the bone baby backs, drenched in your choice of 3 sauces, all on our endless dinner buffet, all for around $10.
$10? Glad we dropped by.
Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness.
The Nikon D5000. An easy-to-use DSLR with HD movie. It's perfect for low shooting and high shooting, thanks to a swivel LCD. And it has an interchangeable Nikkor lens for head-turning images. The affordable D5000. Want to capture even more with your images? Choose from our lineup of legendary Nikkor lenses.
A hand tool so advanced, it eliminates I can't from your vocabulary. The Craftsman pivoting elbow wrench, going where traditional wrenches never could. Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
Final today, the Pirates 2, the Cubs 1. The Cubs could only muster 4 hits against 3 Pirate pitchers, Ohlendorf, Meek, and Dotel. And let's get into the highlights as the Cubs took the early lead, but they didn't leave Randy Wells and company much margin for error. Alfonso Soriano with a triple in the second inning, a ball that probably should have been caught by Andrew McCutchen. That set up the only Cubs tally of the day, an RBI groundout here for Giovanni Soto. And it was 1-0. And for the Cubs, Randy Wells, after just a 16-pitch outing on Friday in which he didn't get an out, was very good today. 3 strikeouts on the afternoon. Ross Ohlendorf was just as good. He went 7 innings. Did give up that 1 run, but really settled in. In the 6th inning, Garrett Jones off left-hander James Russell, tying it at 1 apiece. And then in the 8th inning against Sean Marshall, who has been terrific this season, Bobby Crosby with the base hit to center, Garrett Jones crossing the plate, and that would be it. 2-1 the final. Just 4 hits today, and I know it's easy to point at the bullpen and say they didn't get it done as Russell and Marshall gave up the runs, but you got to score more than 1 sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. And Lou talked about making some lineup changes on this road trip. We saw Mike Fondo filling in for Ryan Theriot at second base today. I think we're going to see some more changes tomorrow.
Yeah, and Tyler Colvin's a guy Lou has wanted to get into the lineup. I have a feeling he will be one of those changes tomorrow.
Yeah, and he's a guy that gives you a lot of different dimensions on the field. He's swinging a hot bat right now. He's got good speed on the bases. He's a great defender with a good arm in the outfield. So I think it's Tyler Colvin's time.
All right, we will have the Culver's sweet defensive play when we come back to Pittsburgh.
Think yours is the most beautiful baby? Prove it, and you could win $5,000 in the Beautiful Babies contest. It's free and open to babies 3 to 48 months at WGNAmerica.com.
A hand tool so advanced, it eliminates I can't from your vocabulary. The Craftsman pivoting elbow wrench, going where traditional wrenches never could. Craftsman. Trust in your hands.
It's raining out there.
So what do you guys want to do?
Make Rice Krispies treats.
How many cups is it?
6.
Oh, it's not 6 yet. Whoa, where's the pan?
Over there.
All right. Push it down, push it down.
Thank you for helping.
It's amazing what you can make out of a rainy day. Childhood is calling.
No matter what life throws at you, you can take the heat till it turns into heartburn. You've got what it takes. Zantac. It's strong, fast, lasting relief. So let them turn up the heat. You can stop that heartburn cold. Zantac.
Nice finger. A wart could get used to this. Liquid wart remover. That's all you got? That could take weeks to treat me.
Did it get cold? Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away removes warts fast with as little as 1 treatment.
You'll miss me.
Dr. Scholl's Freeze Away.
A hand tool so advanced, it eliminates I can't from your vocabulary. The Craftsman Pivoting Elbow Wrench, going where traditional wrenches never could. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
The Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show is brought to you in part by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. And by Culver's, home of the Butter Burger and fresh frozen custard. Now the Culver's sweet defensive play of the game. It came early. In fact, in the bottom of the first inning, second batter of the game for the Pirates. Neil Walker had a very good day, but robbed there by diving Kosuke Fukudome. So Ted Lilly will get the ball tomorrow. Carlos Zambrano on Wednesday. So it should be an intriguing rest of the series.
Well, Ted Lilly threw the ball really well last time out. Some of them he threw 60 feet 6 inches. Some of them a little shorter than that. We'll see what he does tomorrow against this Buccos lineup.
And what's your gut feeling on Big Z going back into the rotation?
Well, I know he's happy to be back into the rotation, and hopefully that will motivate him to go out there and really focus and concentrate on each pitch. That's something Larry Rothschild tells all the pitchers on this Cubs staff, one pitch at a time.
All right, the Cubs will play 2 more here in Pittsburgh, off day Thursday, and then we will greet you next Friday night from Minute Maid Park in Houston, 6:30 for a special 30-minute leadoff man. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. Final today, the Pirates 2 and the Cubs 1. Friday on WGN America. Soto, Soriano, and the Cubs are back in Texas. Friday at 7:30 East on WGN.